Hello and welcome. Wait, where'd Chad go? Shit, we lost Chad. Chad's gone away. We lost him somewhere. Actually, did we lose everybody?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm testing the delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a millisecond now. You're good.
Yeah, it was because I have to load Studio and OBS in a certain order, or it causes that.
Oh, so you're telling me you didn't load something in the correct order?
No, I got onto Studio first when I should have done OBS first.
All right, so we're going to blame every technical difficulty we've had for the last 15 minutes on Chad because he started his programs in the wrong order. No fault of mine whatsoever. It was all Chad.
All right.
Everything was Chad.
Somebody unmute that tab and let's see how that sounds.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
I love salty nuts in my mouth.
I am kind of curious to know if it broadcasts the echo that you hear that I can't hear.
It will.
Will it?
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure.
Well, the only way to find that out is to actually test it, I guess. So, let's go ahead and give it a shot. We're doing some tests. This is Gaming with the Side Assault, episode 60. We are a total professional organization.
Bullshit. I have to load.
Okay. So we'll get y'all to talk so we can see this echo.
Bullshit. I have to load.
Okay. So we'll get y'all to talk
so
we can see this echo.
What's...
Okay. Yep. There it is. Okay, I hear it. Yeah,
okay.
It does.
There's proof that we are not crazy. Well,
about to say, I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know about that.
We're not incorrect about this issue that we are talking about.
Well, I knew you weren't incorrect. I just didn't know if it was coming through on the other side or not, because I don't hear the echo. So
yeah, everybody else does.
Yeah, which is weird.
You're the sane one among the crazies, see ya.
Yeah, I don't. The voices in my head are calmer, I guess. Is that what it is? They know how to shut up when it's time to. But anyway, so tonight we have an abundance of things to talk about. We've got things we missed because last week I wasn't here. Wasn't able to do. But what do we got? We've got like Lego, EA, Borderlands, and other stuff going on, right? So all sorts of nice things. Meme of the day that we don't do every time, but today it's a meme of the day. Please be patient with me. I'm from the 1900s. which story time. So last Saturday we were having that a graduation cookout, right? And I started to clean. Okay, so I busted out the Bluetooth speaker. Okay, and I was gonna play music while I cleaned the kitchen.
Oh no.
My kid comes by and he looks at the speaker, he looks at me, he looks at the speaker, he looks at me. Dad, you're not gonna play your oldies, are you?
You beat him, right?
And it's like, you can play that banana song if you want. I'm like, banana song? What the fuck is a banana song? The one that goes B-A-N-A-N-A and your shit is bananas. B-A-N-A. And I'm like, what? That's the one that's okay?
All right, your kid's fired again.
Yeah, he is.
That's why I was like, you beat him, right?
And then I got my belt, right?
Right when I took a drink, you motherfucker.
You're welcome.
As all good parents do, honestly.
And I was like, what should I play? So what does he do? He cues up some Eminem. I was like, that's my oldies, kid. That's my oldies. He goes, oh.
Was it Slim Shady or
it was old Eminem?
Oh, so it was like the Slim Shady days, yeah.
Yeah. But it was also followed by the other Eminem. So,
Yeah.
They like Eminem. Can't fault him for that.
No, I sure can.
So yeah. I was playing the oldies. So I played some Tootsie Roll and some MC Hammer.
Oh that's going back to the classic.
Oh, MC Hammer, heck yeah.
It's like, because when I think oldies, it's kind of where I go.
What's funny is I think like when I think oldies, I'm thinking like swing music from the 40s and 20s.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, my oldies are not the same as your oldies. We are not the same. You're like,
Yeah.
oldies are from the 90s and early aughts. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
It's like, no, it is
That
You
is
still
can
not my
never
1990 in
old.
my
That was
tolerate.
world,
my
kid.
current. Thank you.
It's like oldies, bro. Don't make me break out Mozart. I will do it. Don't act like I won't. I've got
Oh,
the playlist.
Listen, I
I've
like
got the
some
there's
albums.
Beethoven, so you know.
there's a techno mix of In the Hall of the Mountain King that is amazing.
Yeah,
I believe
there's
it.
this one with Beethoven that I like too. But anyway,
Beethoven's Last Night, hands down, one of the best classical
that
rock.
might be what I'm thinking of.
Is it where he sells his last symphony to Mephistopheles or Mephisto?
I
Basically the devil.
don't remember, but it might be
It's
what I'm
amazing. It's
actually
Trans-Siberian
thinking of.
Orchestra, and it is glorious. Hands down, one of the best.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
TSO.
yeah. Everybody loves their Christmas stuff. I'm not a huge fan, but
I do like that one. Nobody can hear it but me, but you know.
well, if you're gonna, well, I was about to say if you're gonna play it, you can we'll shut up. Oh, it's fine.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. It's not that big and important. I like Trans-Siberian Orchestra too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's get into the news, shall we? Power World updates. Apparently, Power World is going through some massive updates, even though Pokemon wishes they weren't. Nintendo wants them pegged and dead to rights. But yeah, apparently they're working on major updates this summer.
Yeah,
Chad?
I saw that.
That is hilarious.
Basically, they're not only are they doing a crossover with Terraria, which at this point, who hasn't?
Well, I think Terraria is going to be great though for a crossover.
Right. And I swear I would play a different game and still not escape that fucking eye.
No,
But
that eye will follow you to every universe known to man.
Right. And I also heard that there's been rumblings. Now this is what I'm about to say is kind of rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. Huh. And that's it looks like Nintendo's patents might get overturned.
Nice.
I hope they do.
Because a bunch of people alongside with Power World and Pocket alongside Pocket Pair, there's several dozen other development houses that are like, the fuck you're going to do that patent?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
and they should.
Everything they're going after is all mechanics in other games too. Still,
yeah.
They're
it's
like,
like
"We're the
they're
first
having to
ones."
get like
They're not.
oddly specific with them in order to try and claim it's their thing. Like really oddly specific with it.
And Power World's playing the smart by pivoting to being a publishing house, because at that point they're just going to make bank and let everybody else do the work. And yeah, it's really smart for Pocket Pair to pivot to publishing.
But anyway, so Power World modders are taking matters into their own hand, restoring the mechanics that the developer Pocket Pair was forced to patch out due to Nintendo and the Pokemon companies.
I love the image. I love the image IGN used for this too.
Yeah. Sometimes IGN does it right.
It's
should.
pretty rare these days, but you take the wins that we can, guys.
Yeah. Cute and violent. Depresso is still
Although
the
this is
best.
hilarious too.
They really need to sell a brand of coffee called Depresso Espresso.
Yeah, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Right? I don't even drink coffee, but I'd buy that.
Yeah, you'd buy it and send it to me.
I rarely drink coffee, and I don't even know what that character is about, and I would still buy it. I'm like, this is hilarious.
This is a dark type called Depresso. And this is his mannerism for any task he has to do.
Show him in the.
So he constantly looks like you just asked him to drive him to the airport.
No, show him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nope, you cannot talk about Depresso unless you show him in the spa.
I don't know if I can pull that up. Can I?
You should be able to. We've done it before. I know. Depresso resting.
Resting. Let's see if we can find an image of it.
No, it'd be a video.
He's got like resting meh face.
It'd be like a video short. No, so when the pals get tired, they go to these little spa things you build.
That's the thing. It's trying to find somebody who actually has one of just that, just so we can see it.
So that's him mining.
Yeah. Is it Whistle mining?
I think it's just the mining, dude.
Yeah, trying to find just specifically that is not exactly an easy task.
Give me a second.
Although I would say I don't think that yearns is the correct word for this character ever. He seems to yearn for nothing except the sweet oblivion of death.
Oh, he does. That's it. He's ready for it.
He finds it all so tiresome.
And I found it. Took me all of 2 seconds. Feel bad,
well, I can't find it.
Well, right. Aren't you the youngest among us, Chad? This is why. You're more savvy.
Look at him work over there.
It's in the Discord, so you click the link.
Hilarious. What window is this? I lost my window. There it is. Are you coming down with a pool too?
Okay. Depresso in the spa. This is how he does.
That's how he rests.
Bro, he is trying to reach his goal.
He is doing his best. Waiting for oblivion.
You just won't let him die, darn it.
Depresso should definitely be their mascot. Oh, wait. How do I stop that? Okay.
Dude, I want that on a shirt. Just that character. It's like, and yet you keep talking.
Yeah, he totally should be their mascot. I'm just saying, it was a missed opportunity.
I found Depresso Espresso.
Depresso Espresso.
I love Depresso. I don't know, by the way, I don't know. I just found that on a quick search. So if there's somebody to credit, I don't see it. So, but yeah.
That's fine. I don't care. Somebody can figure it out.
Yeah. Whoever
we make no money from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got no reason to worry about it. But yeah, so people are putting back the mechanics that Pocket Pair's been having to patch out, which is why modding is the best thing ever.
Right?
It is.
It really is.
You should always be happy for your modders. They're the ones that keep the game
alive. If they actually
screw Nexus mods, go to alternatives.
Yeah. I would say it would be really funny though if they had if they hosted like a web mod server specifically for Power World mods. And that way they're like, we didn't do it. We didn't. I mean, we're just hosting. I mean, it's just side income, guys.
Yeah, half of me kind of wishes that Pokemon mod was still up.
What one?
The one that came out shortly after the game came out, where somebody went ahead and mapped all the Pokemon onto different pals.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But then Dumbass decided to sell the mod. And Nintendo swiftly kicked him in the balls. And it's like, see, that one Nintendo I get.
Yeah,
I understand that one.
Yeah, and
that was actually a thing you should have done.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't even defend this dude. This dude straight up ripped it, and I'm just like,
yeah, and then was selling it to people.
Yeah, you're making money on
Nintendo's IP. You're not getting away with that.
And if I remember right, the dude wasn't even overseas. He was in Japan.
I don't know where he was.
I remember he was somewhere where he was not going to get away with it at all.
I don't know. They had some guy who modded switches over there. I think
that's what it was. That's what it was. I got it mixed up.
And he was in Japan.
That's what it was.
Very upset with that. But Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is getting a full mod support apparently as well. Since we're speaking about mods, There are already some amazing projects in the work. Well, that's neat. I
I
still haven't
mean,
played that, and I probably won't play it.
I'm just here's the thing. I'm not a 40K guy, so
40K
People
is
who are
something
into
I
that seem to really, really love it though. Like if you're
for
into that. Unlike with the whole Doom game where people who are into that are like, what the heck is this? So
yeah.
I mean I'm happy for 40Kers who are like, yeah, and then they're playing and they're like, yeah. So, that's
Yeah, here's the thing, I'm not into it, but I love seeing people who are passionate about their
it's
yeah,
so
hobby.
fun. It is
40K is something that
fun.
I absolutely know quite a bit about,
Hmm.
but I've never actually got to play it because, well, I know nobody who played it growing up. Not to mention, I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it. That one's a bit
I've
out of
heard
my reach
I've heard that
monetarily.
it is a pricey,
Oh, it
pricey
is. You got to
thing to
buy
get
the
into.
Yeah,
figures. You paint the figures. Take the figures with you, and they all do battle. It's a great game. I absolutely love it. I've just never played it.
yeah, it's yeah.
And the universe is amazing. It's awesome. Yes. Yes, I will take that. Yep. So Tony Hawk says he will campaign all he can for a remaster of Tony Hawk Underground.
I am.
Okay.
Yes, please, please do not change a thing other than graphics. For fuck's sake, that game was a masterpiece.
I don't remember Underground.
Tony Hawk Underground was like massive levels. Like it was still level based, right? But you had pretty much free roam around the whole level. You weren't like tied down time wise, I don't believe. And they had the douchiest antagonist I've ever seen. Like what? Like on level just below uh Handsome Jack as far as douchebaggery. This antagonist pissed me off so much that I 100%ed the game because somebody had told me it was worth it because of what happens to that character. Yes. And let me tell you, it paid off.
That is satisfying. A good villain, man. I mean, that's something that we've been missing with a lot of our fare,
I
especially
don't
in a
know. I
lot of
feel like
Disney
this is a
movies. Don't get me started.
downgrade from the
But
second game.
yeah, we've been missing out on a lot of
No,
like
it's not.
Maybe it's just
really
the
hateable
graphics or
villains.
something.
No, the graphics were the same for both of them. They were both PlayStation 1, dude.
Oh, this is PS1. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually glad that it's PS1 because I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
well, this
Well,
makes
this
sense
is
then.
PC gameplay, apparently. Tony Hawk Underground.
Well, it probably came. If it's
2000.
PC,
Yeah, this is like 2020 or 2003, 2004.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was PS1 or PS2, one of the two.
Because 2004 wasn't that like that's not PS3 yet, is it?
2004. Yeah, 2004. It was
Huh?
PlayStation 2,
PS2, okay.
Yeah, it does look like
GameCube,
PS3. I mean,
Xbox, Microsoft Windows, Game Boy Advance,
we got some pretty
mobile
good big
phone.
polygons happening. No ray
Um,
tracing at all.
yeah, that's why it looks weird.
Yeah, because you're used to the stuff we got now. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they upgrade the graphics but keep everything the same,
Mm-hmm.
and I love that Tony Hawk absolutely refused to let Bam be excluded from the remake of Tony Hawk.
That's good.
So that I really like that because Bam was like the primary guy in that. Like he gave majority of the missions. It made no sense for them to cut him out.
Why would they cut them out?
Drug addiction. Like he's been struggling with that for years, and it doesn't look good. I'm like, you're a skateboard game. It looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
Years.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
a reference.
This is PS1.
Yeah,
It actually does look worse, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's what I'm
You know
saying.
what? To
Like,
me, it looks both worse and better because this
Yeah.
doesn't look as fuzzy as the other one. Like the shadow
The other
looks
one
better.
looks fuzzy and weird. So
well, it's a fucking skateboard game, dude. It don't gotta be
I know, but
4K.
this one just looked like it was more fluid or felt fluid more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just me. I like the first 2 games and
Yeah,
didn't really
but
play anything beyond it. So
my
it's
absolute favorite was
my
Tony Hawk
nostalgia.
Underground 2. Absolute favorite. One was
I never played any of them.
oh, yeah, you're
I'm a girl.
no,
I'm gonna pull up the girl card
yeah.
again.
No, it really is like one of my favorite games. And I'm not into sports
Oh,
games. I like extreme sports though. I like extreme sports games
He
because
doesn't like sports games, but he likes sports games.
I like extreme sports games. I like snowboarding. I like
I don't know if I'd call it
skateboarding.
extreme sports, but
It is when you got
it's just sports.
how do I put this? Mario Kart meets snowboarding. Snowboard kids.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Tony Hawk's on board for doing a remaster of that.
I'm
Or a
so
remake.
I'm so excited for that. Please let this be a thing, and please don't fucking change anything. Like change the graphics and nothing else.
Yeah, instead you'll wind up with like a Final Fantasy remake.
Oh god.
Where they just pull the rug out from under you and change everything.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were upset with the Tony Hawk remakes because they changed some things.
Well, I figured like
supposedly.
music or something would have to change due to licenses
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, that's
Which
a huge thing.
really
They're gonna have to change.
sucks because some of the best songs were on the earlier versions.
Right?
are those oldies again?
Yeah, it's those oldies.
Yeah, you know the classicals like Metallica and AC/DC.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Dude, isn't AC/DC is? I mean, that's even before our time, technically, isn't it?
Yeah, but they're timeless, so it doesn't count.
I mean, we were like all in diapers.
I was listening to
They're not
heavy
old.
metal.
They're just classical. It's okay.
Yeah, as I say,
Awesome.
when I was watching Muppet Babies as a infant, I was also listening to heavy metal.
Well, apparently, I hear if you call some woman out there, she looks like a Muppet, she'll sue you. So
I saw that.
I don't know who it is or
Wait, what?
what's going on, but I'm just
Yeah.
like, shit. Who the hell is this? Who
Well,
gets
you
that
know the
bet?
news outlets were terrified to name her for that very reason.
I want to know who she is now.
Who is this Muppet faced person?
I
Right?
don't.
I must know that I
but,
may mock her.
And which
Gosh.
Muppet are we talking? Walter and Stahl?
Who is it? That umbrella guy was named
Yeah,
in the suit,
Tug.
as well as like 10 other Facebook people or something.
Yeah, it's the dumbest stuff. That's going to get thrown out right at the beginning.
It's like, but Your Honor,
I'm wondering,
he said I looked like a Muppet.
And then
But-
the judge
like,
kind of
have
like
you
looks
looked
at
in
her
the
sideways
mirror?
and goes, "Well,
Well, here's what makes me laugh. Which Muppet? Does she look like Gonzo? Does she look like Kermit? Does she look like Miss
I think
Piggy?
it was just Muppet in general.
My
I
money's
feel
on
like
Miss
I need
Piggy,
lore to this now because.
right?
yeah." Because didn't they come back and like basically totally wreck the Muppet lore and bring in this new chick that Kermit was supposed to have remarried?
Oh, who knows? They probably screwed it all to hell and back.
The newer Muppets is just ass.
I've never seen
Of
it.
course it was.
Never watched it. I'd rather watch my kids watch My Little Pony than anything new.
Well, first 4 seasons weren't bad.
Chad,
I'm sorry, what?
Are we talking friendship is magic? Or the other?
Chad.
What?
Don't. Chad is not a brony, chat. Chad is not a brony.
There's no picture out there.
He slipped. It fell.
There's no picture out there of me holding Pinkie Pie in a wooden mace.
Bro, it was good until like season 3. It was okay until about season 7, and then it was like, all right,
for me, I think season 4 it just
I have
died.
barely seen My Little Pony outside of memes and shit, and like
there's a episode where they straight do Dragon Ball Z shit.
The ones where they do the death battles with them and stuff. Like who was it?
I think it was
Starscream and
Starscream and Rainbow Dash.
That's it. Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
And Pinkie Pie and Deadpool.
Yeah, which
It's
that
like
was
the only
hilarious.
ones I know, and then one that's called applesauce, I think. So
Applejack. I
Applejack.
mean, yeah,
Like
applesauce.
the cereal.
applesauce, applesauce, the pony.
You know, that's how to get to your bona fides though, and be like, I don't know nothing about them ponies.
And then, of course, you have Discord, who is basically Delancey, i.e., Q from Star Trek, pretty much playing Q.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Look up. I think his name's John Delancey, the guy that played Q.
Yeah.
He played a character on My Little Pony called Discord, and basically had the powers of Q.
Wait, no way.
Yeah.
Played My Little Pony. What
Dude,
now?
Discord is what it's called.
Discord.
That's kind of
Isn't
what.
that a song? I remember that being a song.
I mean, it probably is, dude. It's also a platform that we chat on each other on. But
Well, yeah, I know that much, but John Delancey voiced the character Discord in the animated series My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. No way.
Way, bro.
Q was a pony?
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing is
No.
he was like a monster.
Yeah, he was a monster. He was a
He
villain.
wasn't a pony. Now, if you want a person that was a pony, look up I think it's Cheese Sandwich.
I'm afraid if I click images, this is gonna.
Well, it shouldn't bring up anything crazy, I hope.
Oh,
It's
I
My
remember
Little
Cheese
Pony.
Sandwich.
I know there's art.
Yeah, I was about to say I hope.
Discord. Let me see if I can bring up an image of what Discord looks like then. See a little dragon looking thing?
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, basically,
So that
I think the showrunner from, what was that show? Powerpuff Girls was brought
he was
over
in
to
My
make
Little
this
Pony.
show,
Yeah.
which is kind of why, like, if you liked Powerpuff
Oh.
Girls, or you can still watch it,
Zio.
this show probably would
I
actually.
feel like I
sink
have
you.
to watch it now just to hear Q
No,
in a My Little Pony episode.
So, and by the way, he's not a side character. He is like in a huge portion of the episodes. By the way, look up a character called Cheese Sandwich.
Yeah, there was an episode in there where I was like, I'm
Is
actually
that also
feeling
My Little
upset
Pony
about it.
related?
Oh.
Yep. Look up who played Cheese Sandwich.
There's a character called Cheese Sandwich.
There is a character called Cheese Sandwich.
It was like
Sandwich.
Weird Al?
Yep.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Weird Al?
And it was
Cheese
weird. It was Weird
Sandwich.
Al as a pony.
Yeah.
Like even the yep, there it is.
Voice real?
Well, Zio
That
can
sounds
hear
right.
it.
Yeah, well, I can hear it.
Yeah.
The rest of you are just left out in the dark. Cheese Sandwich, everybody. Weird Al.
Yep.
No way.
And the
Wow.
thing is,
But
There's
he comes
so
into town
much,
basically like the outlaw Josie Wales, basically.
so much happened with My Little Pony. I never saw it, so
Yeah.
didn't
No,
know
it's-
any of that stuff. Talk
yeah,
about
no.
some
The
weird
thing
lore.
is, like, what got me invested is one, Delancey's involvement. Two, I heard Weird Al was getting involved. That episode had come out when I watched it. And three, there were episodes that were straight like watching Looney Tunes.
So
Yeah.
Chad is secretly a brony. All right.
Not anymore. Here's the thing. I'm not even a brony. I like the
normally
show.
don't tell
and that's
people your brony passed, okay?
it.
I keep that on the down low.
It
Hey,
was
I'm not a part of the creepy fandom. We'll say that
Yeah,
much.
it was a
Let's go
well done
popping
show, I
about.
think. But yeah. I mean it was a time in history.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those like, oh, this is neat. Anyways, what else is on after so long?
Yeah, like most adults, we watched it and went, "Oh, that's neat. I like this," and then moved on with our lives. We didn't make it our personality, which is apparently
Exactly.
become the way of things.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oof.
I had nothing to prove. I was just like, "No, I just like this show, and I will fight you over it." But that's about it.
So
All right, what's going on now? Oh,
the Switch
Nintendo
2.
TV.
The Switch 2 has been launched. People are getting their Switches 2. They're getting prompts when they turn them on saying it's not available and you can't use this hardware until like the 5th of next month.
I'm
And apparently
shocked.
the hardware
Shocked.
is weaker than the Steam Deck. So everybody, you should have a
Lol,
Steam Deck.
epic lol. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so
Because,
good
yeah.
and so funny and so terrible at the same time. It's just all the things.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh no! Thank you,
So, yeah.
Decula.
Now, it is naturally more powerful than the Switch 1, but it's still not as powerful as the Steam Deck of all things.
Isn't the Switch 1 about as powerful as like a Nokia, like circa 2003? I mean, I have a Switch. I'm not mad at it.
Oh, it's better than a GameCube, right? Or a Wii.
I'll say it's better than a Game Boy because that's kind of what it was replacing. It was supposed to kind of try to mix maybe a GameCube with like a 3DS.
I want to say it's slightly more powerful than a 3DS.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to be basically the next 3DS.
Yeah, like
it's
more powerful than the 3DS. But
yeah, they were trying to get.
It still wasn't as powerful or close to being as powerful as the current day systems when it came out.
No, but that's never been Nintendo's thing. I don't think any Nintendo, maybe since the first system, has been as strong as anything else out there. Their strength, we've talked about this. Their strength comes in.
The 64 was trying to be on par with the PlayStation,
mm-hmm.
and it succeeded for the most part. It had its 3D games that looked
GoldenEye.
About as good as anything you could find on the PlayStation if you got the expansion pack, because it didn't have enough RAM in it.
If you played GoldenEye and you played Oddjob, you're a piece of shit.
That's right. Kneel to me.
Visual,
I'm going to shoot you in the kneecaps,
and I won't be able to shoot you at all.
You can shoot me. You just have to aim down.
Yeah, I have to manually aim down like.
Well, to be totally honest, if I was playing GoldenEye or Perfect Dark, you wouldn't even get near me to point down because you would have blown up 15 ways trying to get to me. So, I was a proxy mine player.
You're probably that guy that hid in the vent that can only shoot out.
No, I didn't have to. I just knew how to proxy mine. You come around the corner, you die. You spawn, you die. You spawn, you die. You spawn, you die. Come around the corner, you die. Oh, that's health. Nope, you're dead.
I did the same. You know what? I did
the
same.
That was me. And I love Perfect Dark because it had the laptop gun, which really made things fun. You come around the corner, and then boom, there's a gun shooting at you.
That's great.
Now you're a piece of shit if you if you used the fly-by-wire Slayer thing, though. Rockets, so you can just move around the stage at will.
Oh, like the one thing from Metal Gear. This thing's called the Nokia or something.
I don't know. It was
Nikita. That's what it was. Nikita.
You shot it, and then your camera was on the rocket instead, so you just guided it around corners.
Yeah, gonna get you. Yeah.
Yeah, like the cheapest thing I think I ever did was proxy mine everything for the most part. Get myself into an area where there's one entrance, throw a laptop behind me, so anything that came through the door, and then just shot the Slayer rockets out and followed around looking for people. That was the cheapest thing I ever did. I felt horrible for it too, but
you should repent.
I should.
No, this is straight to hell.
The boiler room to not collect salvation.
I should be in the boiler room after that one. But anyway, so yeah, Switch 2. Apparently, hardware has leaked. It's not as powerful as a Steam Deck, which I'm not surprised. But they are trying to play on next gen. Their turf now, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm sure everybody has bought the thing at this point because, well, Nintendo fanboys are very loyal, even when they're getting screwed.
Right?
Please, sir, can I have another?
Yes, they'll bend over and take some more.
Masochist.
Tell me about it. But wasn't there something else with that?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, there should have been something else. Um,
Well, just
oh,
show
there it
everything
is.
we're covering.
Yeah, well, I have to. This is the only way for me to go looking for it.
All right, there it is.
Yeah, no, Mario Kart. There we go. I try to keep these things where if we're
Hmm.
talking about Nintendo, everything
Certain
Nintendo is
topics, yeah.
together. I just forgot to do that this time. But yeah, so speaking of Nintendo,
Every
apparently
weakness.
Mario Kart World, which is their launch title, right? Like that's the thing they're launching with. Apparently, it was originally developed for the Switch, which is why we didn't get a Switch Mario Kart, which I always thought was weird. That all they did
Yeah.
was port over 8 Deluxe, and then
Continue.
well, there was music playing.
Yeah, that was my theme song. Continue.
Okay. All right, so they just ported 8 over, and then they gave us maps and stuff, DLC essentially for it. Um, and some additional things that weren't in the original 8, I guess. But they never actually gave us a Mario Kart for the type or for the Switch, which I always thought was weird because they always do a Mario Kart. In fact, I thought it was weird and then forgot about it because they just never did anything for the last 8 years.
Yeah, right.
And it turns out they actually had something in development, but because they wanted to add 24 players to a race, it was beyond the hardware limitations of the Switch. So they couldn't do it. And now that the Switch 2 can handle that, that's why we're getting it for the Switch 2 now. So this was our Switch Mario Kart. And they are repurposing it for the Switch 2 instead of coming up with one for the Switch 2.
Which here's the thing, I liked 8 enough. I didn't really care that Switch didn't have a Mario Kart, but I also kind of am like, I looked at the Mario Kart World and was like, this doesn't feel much more advanced than the other one. And somebody had mentioned that the worlds feel kind of empty.
Well,
so like,
yeah. I mean, I don't expect Nintendo to fill it with life. It's essentially going from it's like connecting a bunch of tracks together.
Yeah.
And then saying, it's open world because you can drive from one to the other. And it's not really. I mean,
yeah, honestly, if they wanted to have fun with that, make it like a cannonball run thing where you got to go from point A to point B, like a cross country rally style, where it's not just because they kind of did it with some of the tracks in 8, where you start at the top of the mountain and then the
whole course is just going all the way down. It's like point A to point B to point C to point D to point E until you get to the very bottom. Yeah, they did do some of those courses with 8. And that's essentially, I think, what World's going to pretty much be. It's just going to be a longer version of that.
Yeah.
But I won't know until it comes out to look at it. Seriously, all you're getting is a Switch 1 game on steroids, which is why it looks like a Switch 1 game. Because there's really no difference between Mario Kart 8 and World Tour, I don't think, graphically wise. Hardly at all. The only thing they needed to accommodate was 24 players, which they can do now with the Switch 2 because it is better hardware than the Switch 1. In fact, it probably should have been the default hardware for the Switch 1, if you ask me.
Yep. But they had
they couldn't do it. But yeah, like Nintendo was like on par, I guess, with next gen until I guess the Wii is when it fell apart.
Oh yeah, yep. Oh
because
my goodness.
The GameCube was still on par with like the PS2.
That, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. GameCube
right?
and PS2 duking it out.
The GameCube, PS2, they were kind of on par with each other.
Yeah, but so the Vita, the PlayStation Vita, that was their handheld
Vita.
Vita, whatever. What was the Nintendo handheld offering at that time?
The 3DS, I think.
Was it? I thought it was the GBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, don't let me. I'm going to get
But
it.
not the 3DS, because the 3DS came out later. First there was the DS, and then there was the 3DS.
Sony PSP.
Yep. Then
Came out,
Vita.
man.
It was PSP then Vita, wasn't
It
it?
doesn't matter. The PSP was leagues above whatever Nintendo released until the
I think
Switch.
so. I
Yeah.
think that's
So
when
it was the
the separation
PSP,
started.
which was then followed by the Vita. The PSP launched December 2006. Nintendo handheld consoles.
Well, Zio does that. Don't forget to like and follow and all that good stuff, everybody.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember seeing the commercials for the PSP, and I was like, "Dang, I don't even play these games, and this looks awesome."
Right?
Oh gosh,
I
Yeah.
remember
See,
that.
the PSP was amazing. The Vita was the thing that came afterwards.
Yeah,
So,
I didn't remember what the original was called.
oh, I'm a fanboy of the PSP and Vita, so I own them.
So are cats. If you say yep. Zio knew exactly what I was going for.
But
And
yeah,
you just lost a viewer after that.
We should have. We should have. We deserve to lose all of you, but we thank you for staying.
In Japan on December 12th, 2004, the PSP, and then North America got it in 2005, right?
Oh,
Let's
man.
see.
You know, it's funny. The dates of all these things are so.
Yeah,
off
they
to
were.
me.
They had the DS, is what it was. Nintendo's on offer was the DS.
Which wasn't bad, honestly.
The
It wasn't
3DS
bad.
was what the
Yes,
DS
it
should have
was.
been.
That is horrible. The DS is essentially just the advanced
Yeah.
with a dual screen. That's
Okay, to
all
be
it
fair, I never
was.
played the advanced, but I played. So I
I mean,
played.
even so much that they even had the advanced cartridge underneath,
Oh
and then the
yeah.
old cartridges could go on top because that's all the DS really was.
Well, to be fair, I utilized that, so that way that's how I played Zelda Oracle of Seasons and those games. But no, I played what were those? Oh gosh, what was it? That's where I played Chrono Trigger, and that's also where I played. Oh my gosh, what was it? I think it was the Legend of Zelda, the game Phantom Hourglass, right? That came out on
Yep.
DS.
Yep.
Yeah, and it looked good, honestly. I mean,
I think
that,
Spirit
but it
Tracks
didn't. It was
came
nothing
out.
compared to the. Psst.
Yeah.
So it was nothing compared to the cat call. So yeah, like I said, when I saw the PSP commercials, I was like, oh my gosh, you could do that with something in your hand. That nope, moving on.
Yeah,
And it looked great. But I mean, I think it depends also on what you were playing. Oh, I remember seeing this game, I think.
Wasn't that Halo?
Yeah, so bright games like this actually looked pretty good. But I mean, for the time.
Yeah.
But like games that had like realistic graphics and had the 3D elements in them, not so much.
Yeah, the
What is this?
3D kind of messed with me too.
What was that? Was that like an RPG version of Mario?
Yeah, no, there's
yeah,
tons
it's
of them.
one of the Mario titles.
I think it's called Mario Sticker Star or something, or
It's one
You know
of
what?
the
I guess
like
I've never
Paper
been a huge
Mario
Mario
type
fan.
things, wasn't
I've
it?
always played it because it was there.
yeah, I think it was called Mario's Stunning Star. I don't know. It
Clearly memorable.
yeah, well,
Let's see.
I didn't play it, so. But they had a ton of RPGs in the Mario franchise.
But yeah, meanwhile, the PSP was playing PS1 stuff.
Yeah. That was impressive. That was really
Yeah.
impressive.
And then the Vita kicked it up a notch.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
The only problem is apparently Sony really sucks at marketing,
Yeah.
and they really suck at their proprietary hardware kick, which is why
They're
those
like the
systems
opposite
fail.
of Nintendo, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like Nintendo, I think was getting into using SD cards for memory, right?
Mhm.
I believe. Meanwhile, the Vita or the
Did
PSP,
it
I'm
have a
sorry,
hard drive?
they banked on Pro Duo sticks instead of the SD cards.
Yeah.
And then the Vita, when SD cards were well established, was when the Vita came out. Sony did the most moronic thing they could do: proprietary memory stick.
Oh
We have
no.
our memory stick. You can only use our memory stick, and if you don't buy our memory stick, you can't use any other memory stick because it won't fit. It won't work. And it was like 50 fucking bucks for a gig.
Yeah. See, they kind of
Well,
pulled the
you
sort of
get
thing that Nintendo pulls now. It's like
Yeah.
they were thinking, but the thing is that it would have worked if they were more established, but they hadn't really, really made their mark in there. They hadn't gotten a good enough handhold or foothold or hold in general
Well,
where that would
even
actually work.
But
even
yeah,
that.
and then micro SDs at the time was like $20 for like 32 gigs or something at the time.
Oh man, those days.
It's like
Yeah.
ridiculously overpriced.
Well, I'll tell you this: with the Nintendo Switch, mark my words, the Switch 2 will sell gangbusters. But I think that the console after that is going to tank, and the reason being is because I think people are going to play the Switch 2, realize, hey, this isn't really that good,
Hmm.
and then like given the price tag and everything, I honestly think that a lot of the fanboys, not like the diehards, but a lot of the fans of Nintendo, but are mad about pricing and stuff. I think
Mhm.
they're going to fall away by the next generation after Switch 2.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think that they're absolutely burning through all of the goodwill that they've gotten over the years.
Yeah.
Much like a lot of the good IPs that we have these days.
Yeah.
I'm
If
also
they
still
don't
up at the fact that they don't have real good internal memory.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can only bank on your good name for so long before people go, "You know what? I think that you're lying to me."
Well, if
Um,
they had good internal memories, they couldn't sell you an overpriced SD card.
That is true. Because I swear, every time I use an off brand one that is over like a gig,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
what?
Like it works, and then I start installing things, and then it's corrupted and won't work.
Oh.
Unless I buy the Nintendo brand version of it. I'm like, fuck you, Nintendo, no.
Yeah.
So for my Switch, I think I was able to save. Yes, I was. I was able to save to a USB drive. I had a scientist friend who just decided to leave like a 30. How big is this thing? Let's see, 128 gigabyte flash drive with me for reasons, and I played all of Breath of the Wild off of that. So, um,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I
So I
mean,
mean, you
I
didn't
think
have
that's
to.
what I have in mine is like a 128, but I wanted to upgrade to like a much larger one.
Mhm.
So yeah, anything beyond like 256 or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wouldn't work. Even though it's supposed to support, I think up to like 2 terabytes. I think.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, in that case, you just get to, like kind of like when you, would swap out a cartridge, you just basically swap out memory sticks.
Yeah,
I think
I
I
just
think
didn't want
all
to do
this.
that.
I think all this talk of Nintendo. I think I need a refresher.
Ooh, refreshers. That's
He's
right, because
demanding.
Nintendo is very depresso.
That's a good picture.
That works.
Let's see. All right, spin the wheel,
Oh,
spin the wheel, spin. Stop. Okay. Oh, we have no sound.
Well, unmute it.
well, shut up.
I have to redo the sharing thingy. There we go.
What? I love how
Wow.
serious he looks.
He looks so serious.
That was a short one.
All right.
Stop.
Next one.
Are those hickeys? Did the wizard you're
Didn't we
dating
already
give you
watch
those?
this one?
Oh,
I think so.
yeah. Turns out they're a necromancer.
Ah.
How are things going with the necromancer you're dating?
Yeah, we totally watched this
Yeah, let's go to another
one.
one.
Apparently, we didn't delete it.
Because
But
it's funny.
Funky Doodles is great.
It's like all this is going to be Pookie Doodle stuff.
My God, guys,
Yes.
this is gonna be so good. Again. Oh, come on. You're famous for your grunts. People will leave if I'm gonna be loud. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
They're losing their shit. One just walked out like nope.
That was a terrible idea. I mean, it's already bad enough when you're just watching it in general. You know, someone walks up and they're like, "It's Sinus, I swear."
One more.
Go for it.
All right. Let's see what we got here to react to.
America, I brought a Four Loko.
And Uncle Roger bought Hello Kitty soda.
Got alcohol in it?
This is one of the most American drinks you can have. This will fuel an F-450. You drink this, you'll break up with a girlfriend who already blocked you. It's like a Jamba Juice, but drugs. What are you doing?
Trying to pour one
Oh,
for each
no,
of us?
you don't need to pour it in there.
Nobody do this?
No, oh, it's actually gross to see that. I've never seen the inside of one of those. You just put it in a brown paper bag.
It smells like nail polish remover.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a detox. It cleanses your body.
Ugh. This smells like domestic abuse.
This is the actual official sponsor of the Jerry Springer Show. You drink
What is
and
it?
you wake up doing a
Four
handstand.
Locos.
You know who this can voted for.
So this what freedom tastes like?
Yep. Come to America.
This is Hello Kitty Ramune soda. You put it like here, and then you slam. Oh,
That's a
nice.
mess.
This is the one with the anal beat. That's what you get when you lose World War II. Who knew Hello Kitty tastes this good? This is you before crack, and this is you after crack. This is Japanese mochi. Have you had this before, Nephew Travel?
I've had it with the ice cream in it from Trader Joe's.
Hiya, Trader Joe, that not real shit. This from Sweatshop.
What shop and then it ends.
Oh shit. No, yeah, Four Loko is he was pretty much right about it being domestic abuse. It pretty much is liquid.
Is
domestic
that a
abuse.
real drink?
Yeah, it's an alcoholic beverage.
Really? I've never
We're
even
echoing
heard
against
of it.
you. Might want to turn that off.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
But
Yeah, I've never.
No,
So.
yeah, trust me, when I see somebody buying that, I'm knowing some kid's getting beat that night.
Speaking of beatings,
That's so dark.
what the segue, Chad? Oh, Tekken 8 Direct reveals plans to add a Waffle House stage to the game. So all you Tekken fans out there have been wanting to throw down at the house,
At the house, yeah.
it's gonna happen. It looks like
The
they're
funniest
gonna,
thing,
of course, rename it, you
Yeah.
know, into something more, you know,
actually,
that
they
isn't
could just
going
call
to
it the
cause
house.
them to get like sued. But apparently, I guess he put it out there to say, "Hey, Waffle House,
You want to
yeah.
do a co-op?
you want to do a thing?" So if not, you know, you could find yourself at a Waffle House-esque place.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
You
But,
touch
the
my
Tekken
waffle
director
do.
explains how he'll add the unofficial Waffle House stage.
Bro.
Oh,
Bro.
No, it gets
we-
so better because of what happened in our Discord. This got put into memes because Thomas thought it wasn't real.
It doesn't feel real because the thing is that it's such an American thing for fights to happen at Waffle House.
It is. Listen,
I mean,
if
the
you
next
want
the
prime
next
time entertainment at 2 a.m. and a waffle, The
Listen.
Waffle House is the only place to go. Because that's the only place you can go to where you can get your waffle and get served by a nice waitress or whatever who's like, "Thank you, honey. Here's your tea, honey." And then also on the other hand, she's taking some idiot and slamming him through the whole thing on the bar over there and out the door because he's being an idiot. It's great.
Listen, Waffle House is a B&B. Waffle House is a breakfast and boxing match.
Breakfast and boxing match.
All right, so I'm a West Coast gal. I'm from LA, where we
So
we
they
have
just
our fights in
shoot
proper
people there?
places, like a Walmart
The
or
Waffle House
the
takes you out
street.
back and puts you down like Old Yeller.
Oh, see, here's the thing. You fight on our side in a Walmart, you just get shot.
This is true. Over
You
here, it
watch it.
depends on where, so you can get shot. You can get shot if you're basically in LA proper or one of the like Watts-ish suburbs, but suburbs, side cities, ghettos, projects. They call them projects,
Yeah.
because they are. Anyway, a project's in urban decay. Like, hey, let's see how fast we can actually poison an entire group of human beings, and it worked. It's amazing. Don't go there. Just saying. Come to California, talk to me first. Don't go there.
Anyway.
But that's both awesome and just kind of depressing. But
no, I love it. I freaking love it.
I thought it was a meme too when I first saw it.
Because it seems like a meme.
And it turns out, apparently, like a large portion of the player base for Tekken has been wanting this for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Like apparently there's been like whole discussion threads forever about this. And I'm just like, wait, really, guys? Really?
It wouldn't be hard to design either. That's the thing. Like,
so we could see the Tekken house or the Hustle House or something like that in its place if they can't get the branding to use Waffle House. But Waffle House, you should totally take it. Just embrace the memes. This is one of those you should embrace the meme culture.
Remember who you are.
They would make so much money.
Yeah, because if you do a deal with them, then you can do things based off of like Tekken and things, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can throw out like a Tekken themed meal or something. Add that to the menus.
Yep.
But anyway.
I don't know, though. Do you think that they'd really want to embrace that their place is basically ground zero?
It doesn't matter because it's still it is.
The meme
it doesn't
exists.
matter whether
they
embrace it or not.
This is true. The art does imitate the life, not the other way around. So yeah, it's like, look, this is already who you are. Embrace it.
Just embrace it.
Yep.
Embrace it and go down that way. But anyway, I just thought it was
search your feelings. You know it to be
hilarious to share. But yeah, so Lego is pulling a Nintendo.
Oh no.
So apparently somebody's been working on a fan game for Bionicle of all things for the past 8 years. Mm-hmm. And Nintendo has decided, because it looks too much like an official project, because they're not going to do anything with the brand and hasn't done anything with the brand, they have shut it down.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
It apparently looks too much like an official project. They have shut it down.
Is he calling it Bionicle?
Yeah, it's Bionicle Mask of Power. That's what it was called. It was a fan game. It wasn't going to be like...
Was he collecting money for it?
He wasn't going to apparently be like being sold or anything. It's like when people try to make different Pokemon games or Mega Man games that are fan games, and then Capcom or Nintendo comes through and shuts them down.
Yeah, same thing.
So...
But, I mean, if somebody just does something but doesn't charge for it at all... how can it get shut down? They
use a cease and desist.
But if they say no,
most people don't.
See, that's the thing. I'm just like we demand that you cease, and I'm like, I demand that you leave me alone.
The next step here would be Lego to file drag them to court, which then forces them to find thousands of dollars to drag themselves to court and a lawyer to defend them to say, hey, look, we're not selling this shit. It's within our rights to do.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's going to argue, but it's our name. It's our brand. It's our IP.
I mean, But the thing is that you can make fan versions of things. I mean,
Yeah.
this is your own team just doing a thing.
Yeah, but who's
Yeah,
gonna
but
who's
it's
gonna
the
pay
fact
for the
that
lawyer?
if Lego still brags you to court,
You're still
you
blowing
got
money.
thousands of dollars to deal with it. When a fan project like this, probably not.
Yeah. So it's a practical thing more than an actual legal thing.
Yeah, which
Just,
usually is what happens with a lot of this stuff. So,
this is
like,
why we can't have
it's
nice
one
things,
thing
guys.
for Nintendo to
Nobody's
yeah,
ballsy
and
enough to take it.
yeah, like it's one thing for Nintendo to go after the modder who created a Pokemon mod for Pow World because he was selling it, right?
Yeah.
It's another if a modder made a Pokemon mod for Pow World and then put it on Nexus, free of charge.
Yep.
Granted, they probably would go after it still, because it's Nintendo, but those are like two different beasts right there. So, and the problem is when one of these large companies come after you for your fan project, it's either you capitulate to their demands and shut it down, or you go the lawsuit way, which you probably don't have the money for, and they have infinite buckets of it.
Yeah.
The funny thing is,
then you're fighting a multi-$1,000 fight just for at the end of the day a judge to say maybe say, depending on if your lawyer's good enough to win the hearts and minds of whoever, that it's legal for you to do. And then you've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point. You're living in a plastic box somewhere.
Well, I mean, honestly, at a point like that, I'd be like, maybe if you have enough of a following, I would say, just put it out on Kickstarter or something like that.
Oh, well, you
Because
definitely
I think that they're, I mean, after this whole,
you can't do that. You can't raise legal funds on Kickstarter. It goes against their TOS.
I'm sorry, not Kickstarter. Gibson Go.
Gibson Go.
Yeah.
Because after the whole Shiloh Carmelo nonsense, I think you could raise that for anything. So
yeah, so the funny thing is, I talked to a friend that was in law, and he said that majority of the these companies that do this, it's all bluster. And the moment somebody even hints that they're going to fight it, they buckle and settle.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm thinking would happen here. They don't have a case. You don't have a case against someone who's just making something for fun.
Even though they got unlimited money, they also have unlimited greed, and they hate to lose money.
Yeah, but again, that's that whole point thing.
It's
is,
a balancing.
When you get a cease and desist, the person there has to then weigh: do I possibly fight this legal battle, or not?
Not everybody has that sort of intestinal fortitude. That's just
true.
I'll tell you this: have that. Yeah.
Any lawyer worth his salt will say Nintendo.
I mean, anyone who looks at something like this definitely can look at that, and go, they can't do that. But at the same time,
yeah,
that's when they go, yeah, but they did. So now what?
Yeah. So apparently that's what happened. I mean, they haven't made a Bionicle game since like 2003, I think, or 2006.
Yeah, no, it's a dead IP. They're literally
they also had like
man,
a
that's
show
a blast
at
from the
one
past.
point.
Bionicle, what?
Like there was a show at one point, I believe.
No, there was three computer render show, if I remember. I wasn't into it, didn't watch it, but I saw it existed.
Yeah, I know it exists.
That was kind of after your time, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I am queen nerd of cartoons, but I don't really remember that being too prominent when I was watching cartoons, and I watched them.
No, it definitely was a niche. It was a niche audience for that.
Yeah, I mean, I watched child cartoons well into my 20s.
Yeah, it looks like they had a couple of PS2 games, Game Boy Advance, or maybe it was just one PS2 game.
No, I dropped my nuts.
Let's see. Generation 2.
What?
See, a reboot of the original story, the revival of Chronicles. Lego Bionicle: The Journey of One 2016. Okay, so I guess they had something there. A Netflix series
Mm-hmm.
for a hot second. But yeah, Bionicle hasn't really done anything in a very long time.
Yeah, they haven't done anything and haven't been anything for so long. It's like, dude, what?
Apparently, there was a reboot on the works in 2012, and I don't think it did anything.
I don't think it got off the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just Lego. Lego being like Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you have nice things? And the fact that it apparently was working so well that or was going over so well that they had to
Oh, that does
cancel it
look good.
or they pretty much cited that it looked like an official thing. And they didn't want it to be confused with
Dude, it looks
something
better than
that
an
it did.
official thing.
It does. It looks great.
Oh yeah, it looks good.
Honestly, I would have been like, no. Like,
You know what kills me?
Success, and I'd be like, no, drag me to court.
You know what kills me? Early 2000s and 90s, this kind of thing would be rewarded by the parent company, Lego or whatever, going to these guys and going, do you want a job? Now it's, how dare you show us up?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, especially for Nintendo. So,
Which is just sad, really.
yeah.
It really is.
But it is what it is,
If
unfortunately.
you're ever wondering why we don't get nice things, this is why.
Yeah. That and they try to patent everything under the sun.
Yes,
Right?
this is mine. Is it though? No.
Alrighty, so
Rage.
GTA 6, Cyberpunk 2077, Baldur's Gate 3 could all be at risk for being banned.
What?
Oh,
Yep. So,
in Texas.
there's a U.S. law that is being proposed in Texas, and I recently heard it was passed
In Texas.
in Texas.
I gotta
And,
emphasize that because people online are stupid.
Do what?
I gotta emphasize in Texas because people online
yes.
are stupid.
Yeah, in Texas. But yeah, so the proposed law that could change gaming forever. Didn't they have a link to the law in here? Or did I look that up? Shit, I had a link. I actually went and looked it up, by the way, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I bet I didn't put it in here. I bet. I looked it up on my own time, read the bill, and then forgot to link it back in the salt mines.
As you do. Chad is too pleased with himself over that.
Yes, he is. Anyway, on paper, the bill in question, the Interstate Obscenity Definition Act, IODA. Wow. Anyway, proposed by U.S. Senator Mike Lee, resembles any other. Won't somebody please think of the children attempts to clean up the internet? However, buried within the legalese language is a potential headache for immature video games. And it also... I remember why I was looking into this. It was over anime. That's why it did. Yeah. That's right, because I forgot. Okay, yeah. That's why I was looking into it, because people were upset about the anime thing.
I keep saying in Texas because here's the thing. Texas has been trying to break into the... Basically, they want a pie of the entertainment industry, and then the dumbasses pull this. Nobody's going to come over there if they're going to be terrified that any day they could just get banned.
But apparently, from what I can understand, what people were saying about this is apparently it replaces the Miller test with something completely different, and the language itself is vague enough that yes, something like GTA 6 or Baldur's Gate 3 or Goblin Slayer or anything else would be considered obscene and illegal. Now, I personally, when first reading about this and reading the thing, thought there's no way it's going to pass. because everything else they've tried doing similar to this in the past just hasn't gone through. And then this one passed. So I like, okay, this might be a thing to look at and worry about at this point.
In Texas.
Yeah, in Texas, not everywhere else, but in Texas.
I mean, if Senator Mike Lee is proposing it, that's not Texas because he's Utah, and so that's got to be, and he's a federal senator.
Well, no, the thing is, there's other states that are looking to follow Texas's thing.
But I mean, so Mike Lee is not a state senator; he's a federal senator. So he's, in Washington. So if he's proposing this, then the problem actually would be nationwide if passed. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. Unless they can find something that, I mean, not to say that there isn't enough content out there where you could appropriately scare a lot of politicians into thinking, this is going to really get the suburban housewives pissed off. I think that
you know what? You know how you get this to just plummet in popularity? Just tell the Karens in the suburbs that they're going to ban their smutty melodramas.
Yeah, no more.
No, because that one wouldn't actually go with it. Actually, now that I think about it, in terms of gaming, I don't think this is going to do anything for it. Because, especially with the examples being listed here, Cyberpunk 2077, Baldur's Gate 3, GTA 6, and I'll explain here in a second. Because the vague portion of the law talks about if a person is perceived to be under the age of 18, which is why the anime community was really up in arms, because they have a lot of people who aren't 18 but look like they may be under 18 in their anime, because in Japan the legal age limit over there for 16, decades was like 16, I believe.
Yeah.
So most protagonists in anime are roughly about 15 to 17 or 18 in most animes.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that might bad or anything that happens usually is somebody, story-wise or whatnot, would be somebody who's, looks like they may be younger than they actually are. Or are actually slightly younger, but it's a normal thing in Japan because their legal age limit is lower than ours. And that's why they were up in arms about it, because the vague portion of the law was talking about if. Now, it's also around the context of AI, but it says AI in animated or cartoon or something like that to that effect.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a problem when you have a panic without understanding. Like I don't disagree that there are things that can go way too far, especially with AI and what's being generated, can be generated, has the potential for generation. There do need to be guardrails that need to be put in if we're going to have any sort of society at all, or otherwise we're going to see Chad naked everywhere. So,
even I'm terrified of that.
Yeah, I know we're all horrified at this process. So. So the thing is,
go on Gronk real quick.
Even people who are proponents,
call me like one of your French girls.
Even people who are proponents of AI, like Elon and others, have been saying you need to put in some bills and some guardrails for AI. It can go anywhere. We can't have really dystopian stuff happening really, really fast. This is a lot of power.
I think he even said it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said it was too late. Like it's already happened.
Yeah, and so now this is kind of, it's not quite.
Mike Lee is taking this national.
Yeah, that's what I told you, dude. I'm telling you, Mike Lee is not. He's not just a senator. He's not a senator.
Yeah, last thing I heard was Texas passed the bill.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I heard too.
But I mean, they've already kind of done something there, so maybe they'd be doing an amendment. I'm not sure. Because that's 21-22.
Well, see, I think it passed in Texas. I don't think it's hit the federal level yet. I think they're trying to get it to the federal level.
Well, if Mike Lee's talking about it, but the thing is that's Mike Lee is the Fed is a senator for the state of Utah, but
Yeah.
to the federals. So if
That's what I'm saying. He's pushing for it, but I don't know if the federal version passed or if it's just the Texas one that passed. You
No,
know what I'm saying?
I think it was just the Texas one that passed.
yeah.
That's why I'm saying, like, it's not on the
Yeah, I
federal
mean that
level
was
yet.
he pushed that in 21, 22, so that was what 3-4 years ago.
You know what's funny though? I see that these senators and stuff push this like morality law bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing that comes to mind is if you're going to push that, I want to see what's on your hard drive because I don't believe you're as altruistic as you claim, sir.
Well, I mean, he's a Republican, so he's most likely to be gay, a closeted gay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, didn't you know that? Most
No.
Republicans are closeted gays, or more likely to be a closeted gay man.
Oh, so the internet was right.
Oh yeah, I mean, Democrats tend to be more
That's
like
what the internet
pedophiles,
says.
so it kind of evens out.
I'll take the yeah, I'll take the.
I mean, have you not
Republican over
noticed
that.
that's been like
I
correlation
noticed,
between
but
things? It's like
I noticed,
all
but
of a
I
sudden there's like this Republican. It's like he was caught kissing a man, and and then they get all bent up in shape about it because he's apparently been a closet gay the whole time.
Hey, what people do in their bedrooms is none of my business.
And then he was like trying to pass anti-gay bills or some bullshit.
Wow,
Like,
talk about hurting yourself.
of course, then again, that might be just the Democrats,
Yeah, that's
being hyperbolic about something stupid.
yeah,
So,
that's
Oh, okay.
yeah, because they always do
there
that.
there is something to I think thou dost protest too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to something like with AI and with where it has already gone and where we've been trying to put up guardrails and stuff like that, I understand where it's coming from. So, but like Elon already said, it's probably too late. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but the sun's getting low, so we because it's getting really good. The what is it?
Yeah.
Google Veo was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I
And I
saw
hate
one of a Pikachu eating a strawberry the other day that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for the fact that I know Pikachus don't actually exist, if I didn't know that, I might have thought it was real.
Yeah.
The aliens that come after we're long gone are going to be so fucking confused.
It's like, and then they have these little electric rats that ate strawberries. So cool. I don't know what happened to them. But anyway, so that's something to look out for, guys. Call your senator, your reps, whatever. Tell them to vote against this kind of shit.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we could lose our games because it does. One of these bills did include things like anything that could cause arousal, which actually could be, our video games.
Oh, see, here's what we do. At that point, I would just take a picture of the senator and be like, I need you to be banned from the Senate because I'm getting a hard on looking at you.
Listen, I'm just saying, all the Genshin Impact players will be very much affected.
Yeah, they're pissing themselves. You know they are.
You might want to say something,
Genshin
guys.
Impact most affected, yeah.
Yeah. No, small most affected.
Small most affected. Alrighty, so this will allow users to run Steam directly from Xbox environments. So apparently Xbox and Steam are coming together because Microsoft understands that PC is where it's at.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I am not confident in this one. This is not the play, Steam. This is not the play.
Why not?
Because when these companies come together, it's usually to try and shoehorn in some sort of corporate culture
Exclusivity.
bullshit.
Well, let's
Yeah,
see.
that's when you get a bunch of exclusivity and things like that.
Microsoft releases some things on Steam they don't release. Actually, I think everything Microsoft is doing is practically on Steam at this point.
It is.
Uh,
I
you
don't
just
trust Microsoft as far as I can piss. So
yeah, I don't trust that, but at the same time, if Steam could be run from an Xbox, that's a win for Steam.
yeah, I mean, it always could. I had a friend
Well,
that modded
yeah,
a
you
regular
can mod and
an original Xbox, and it had Steam on it.
yeah, I mean you can mod it and do it, but have it natively is a different thing.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. This is one of those things where, like, we'll see. But I don't trust Microsoft at all.
They're not trustworthy though.
Now, I'm not sure what Valve would get out of it.
That's the thing that has me concerned because I'm like, I'm sure they are getting something out of it.
Oh yeah,
I think
I just don't know what they would get out of it.
Expanded player base.
Well, I'm sorry, Valve would get something out of it. I don't know what Microsoft will get out of it. That I should clarify, because I know what Valve's getting out of it is getting the entire Xbox player base that hasn't got a PC.
Yeah.
Giving them access to Steam deals. Seems
Xbox,
like a bad thing for Xbox.
I would see Microsoft maybe getting a cut that Steam would get from sales.
Maybe. And if that's all it is, then so be it.
I mean, that'd still be huge for Microsoft. That's a huge chunk of money.
If you got a choice between using like Microsoft Store versus Steam to buy your game, it's a no-brainer. You buy it through Steam.
Yeah, you know my history of Microsoft Store.
Yeah,
I would rather not play the game.
Microsoft Store was because I had Game Pass for a hot minute. And let me tell you, the headaches that running shit through Microsoft did.
Dude, Microsoft...
That's why I bought No Man's Sky over on Steam later.
Microsoft Store is like having multiple STDs all at once. Yeah. Not a good time, and somebody's going to get hurt.
What just happened?
Oh, you know what? It'd be really cool if Steam integrated Game Pass. So there's like a section in Steam for Game Pass users.
It could happen. I could see that happening. Here's the thing.
Which then means I would never have to open the Microsoft Store, ever.
I think, no, that you just nailed it right there. They've had trouble with that Microsoft storefront for years and cannot get it right. So what do? You abandon it and you just adopt Steam as your storefront. I bet you that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, if they can integrate it and then you have a tab for like
wouldn't be hard.
You know, you just have like an extra tab up there that says Game Pass on it.
Yeah.
Which then, of course, gets PC players to click on it too, because they're opening Steam and seeing the, hey,
Game Pass,
Steam updated. There's a new thing. Check out Game Pass, which then pushes Microsoft's Game Pass onto the PC player base.
Yeah.
And then the console get access to Steam. It's a win-win-win-win all around.
Holy it's only concerning when you don't see where the second win is coming in. So if we see where the second win is coming in, we're like, oh, okay, well that works.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, this could be as benign as that. I still don't trust Microsoft, but
yeah, I mean, it could be none of that too. We're just speculating at this point, but
no.
Oh, what is this? Steam users. Oh, yeah, Steam users are review bombing Borderlands games, and Take-Two's new user agreement. So apparently Take-Two has updated their user agreement to where they now have, or they want to install spyware onto your system so they can have access to everything, including your location. Everything on your PC. Anything you do, they want root access to all of it, because you can't be trusted.
CEO.
Play their games.
Can you be trusted?
No, I cannot be trusted.
Well, so there you go.
I mean, look,
they're not wrong.
You just resent it.
I just don't want them accessing I don't want to give them root access to my PC. Screw that shit.
Here's the thing. Here, like, just straight up, I saw this a while back, and Okay, never mind. I'm not going to play that. Oh hell no. Uh,
Okay.
what?
What the fuck?
That was my reaction.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Like that whole company is dead to me. Like the whole was it Take Two, right? Or no, Gearbox. Gearbox is dead to me after that atrocity known as Borderlands 3.
Oh, yeah, you're
Like,
still
is
salty about that
Borderlands one
one.
of those games where you
I
just
will
play
be
with
on my
randoms?
deathbed, Meg, and be salty about that one.
Like, is Borderlands a game that you would play with randoms?
Me?
Like anybody? Do people
No.
just play with randoms?
No, you play with your friends. You get a couple
Yeah,
friends
I thought
together.
that's what it was. Like, Borderlands is a single player experience with multiplayer accessibility, so you and your friends could come together. But it's not like matchmaking type,
Yeah, it was fun
Call of
because
Duty or anything.
everybody had that character they kind of identified with. Like for me, it was Brick and what's his name?
Siren.
What was the second one? Eduardo or whatever.
I don't know. I played
Literally,
the Siren.
he had the highest bounty because you'd find these wanted posters of the different characters, and then he had the highest bounty and it had like a laundry list. It was like public nudity, murder, all this other stuff.
Chad's so proud.
Yes, he is.
He's like, that's my boy.
Yeah, I was like, ooh. Well, I liked him because the Gunzerker thing, just like, because I was like, well, there's no Berserker, and then I saw Gunzerker, and I was like, maybe, and then like I saw all the stuff he did, I was like, I like this.
But yeah, anyway, so they're adding anti-cheat because apparently you got to stop people cheating on your single-player game that you
Single
can play
and
with your
co-op
friends.
game. What the hell?
Yeah. But apparently this stuff could collect your usernames, passwords, IP location, browser history. So if you thought your browser history was bad, if you need somebody to delete it, they're going to have to go all the way to Take-Two to take care of that for you.
Yeah,
I know there's a lot of people out there who
Well,
don't want their
Gearbox.
browser history looked
Wait.
at by Take-Two.
Is this Take-Two? I thought it was Gearbox. Was it Is it Gearbox Borderlands?
Take-Two, or wait, yeah, Gearbox. Aren't they owned by Take-Two? They're
Oh,
owned by
maybe they
Take-Two.
are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Gearbox is the company that handles Borderlands. Take-Two is the parent company.
Gotcha.
If I remember correctly, not the other way around. Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, so yeah, people were very upset. They rightfully review bombed it.
Yeah.
So didn't I have another thing in here? Did I?
He said that one right there, I think, where Pitchford said.
Okay. So there's a lot of stuff that Pitchford did recently. So apparently Borderlands is costing around $3 million because apparently it's costing double or triple Borderlands 3. So the estimation is somewhere around $3 million to make this game, which Pitchford also uses as an excuse to justify the $80 price tag that it will possibly cost. Pitchford also decided to say the whole, hey, don't you have $80?
Yeah.
Like, Blizzard did with the don't you have phones. Because
he tried to step that. He tried to walk that back. That's not.
Yeah, he tried to step that back.
Do they not know we are vengeful folk?
Apparently not. They're learning about it now. Because he did try smoothing it over again, talking about how, it's not, they're not going to try, and they don't want to, but the game costs a lot, and this, that, and the other, and then trying to guilt trip people into it outside of saying, aren't you a real fan? Let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 dev said that it was gross. The whole thing was gross. To guilt trip your fan base into paying $80 for your game is just gross, which I thought was hilarious. Because, the Boulder Gate team just makes me love them every time they open their mouths. So,
pretty much. Like, I was like, man, you know what? I like Baldur's Gate, but I'm liking it more and more.
It's like, the devs are great. Larian Studio is just great. Every
Yeah.
time they open their mouth, they're always telling some other dev to get their foot out of their fucking mouth. You're an idiot
Pretty much.
at this
And
point.
basically, they have the same outlook as Meg has, where it's like, we don't need to know your stupidity. Shut up.
Yeah, we don't need to know who you are. I don't need to know your name. Honestly.
That's why I'm like, Meg, you sure you don't like Baldur's Gate? Because they kind of are on the same wavelength as you when it comes to
Devs are
developers.
Yeah, that's great. But again, I don't care. That's the whole point. I don't care that they're based. That's great. Good for you. Make a good game that I want to play.
They did.
Well,
You
Mike
just
still
won't play
doesn't
it.
wanna play.
I don't do turn-based, my dude. The only one that I've ever actually been somewhat interested in was Expedition 33. And there I'm kind of concerned because now I have to be good. So
See, I'm just saying. You like Expedition 33 turn-based.
you haven't played Expedition 33, so you don't know why it appeals to me so much. It's
yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
yeah. So like play it for like 30 minutes and then you'll be like, oh, okay, so this is probably a little different, Like they're like, choices matter and that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't want to do a choose your own adventure kind of thing. Like, oh, you could kill your party members. I don't want my party members to die. That's depressing. So like, I'm that kind of person.
But it is funny to accidentally shoot Chad in the back with an Eldritch Blast.
Yes, you motherfucker. That hurt.
You
I took 5
survived,
points of
didn't you?
damage because you misclicked.
You survived, didn't you?
Yeah.
You guy.
Don't worry, the fireballs will be better. One day. Anyway, so OBS is still denying Rumble access to anything.
That's okay.
Because apparently Rumble is a hate-filled space full of Nazis or something like that. Whatever it is they're calling them these days.
I don't understand.
But yeah. Which is why I gave up using OBS Labs a while back.
Oh, that's why.
I don't have access to this, but with other OBS, I can go through that third party to multi-launch multiple things and add Rumble to it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to use something that's not OBS with OBS to make it work. So OBS refuses to accept Rumble as a viable platform.
Well, I mean, I have the address always set up in there, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I still use OBS because I haven't found an alternative, but also the COO that posted that deleted it, but the internet is forever, my dude. So
I know. It was deleted, but it doesn't mean we won't forget because we still remember. Yeah, so you can do OBS.
Alternative, fine. But the thing is that they get no money from me, so.
You can set OBS manually, but if you want to multi-stream, it doesn't show up in their drop-down, which refuses to let you multi-stream without using another thing to make it happen.
Plug-in and stuff?
Yeah, the plug-in.
Yeah.
Which is why I had to stop using StreamYards, which, I was thinking of paying for StreamYard or Streamlabs or whatever the hell it's called, their premium thing.
Yeah.
So I could do a multi-stream using it.
Mm-hmm.
But because they never added Rumble, I kept sitting there waiting to do it, hoping they would add Rumble, and then they didn't. They never did, so I never paid for the premium.
Yeah, and
it's like, that could have been. I know it's just one customer, but how many more have done that?
A lot,
at this point
and they're leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but like I looked into alternatives. And sadly, the alternatives have the same outlook as OBS.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know why people can't just shut up and do a good job. Like, I
shut up and take my money.
Your ideology is. I don't want to know who you voted for. I don't want to know what you think about stuff. Can you just turn out something that works? How is this hard? You do not need to insert yourself into something. You do not need to make a moral grandstand sort of thing. I mean, if you have a link to Twitch, my dudes, you have more of a moral problem than linking to something like Rumble.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, Twitch is involved in all kinds of nonsense, and they're going to be losing their, They're having advertiser issues now. Like advertiser fright is happening now.
Gee, I can't wonder. Well, I can't wonder the reason, Hassan. And
Yeah, I know, right? Hassan the Hun, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, Twitch, they threw him a birthday party. So like clearly they have their favorite. They punished him by giving him a 24-hour ban.
They
Well,
gave him a day off.
suspension on his freaking day off. Yes, exactly. And I'm like, and then he gets to claim that he was in the struggle. So
Yeah.
no, dude. I mean,
Struggling.
you cannot sit here and try to morally grandstand when you have Twitch in there. Absolutely not.
I'm
pretty
just
much.
saying, if they ever eat the rich and then start curting out Hassan, I'm going to laugh.
Oh yeah.
Because I saw what they did to the French. Just so
Yeah.
you guys know, you commies out there who like to, rail against stuff and say eat the rich.
Mhm.
Remember what they did to the French.
They don't know what they did to the French.
No, they are history illiterate, my dude. They're not going to know till it's
Apparently, maybe you might want to brush up on what happened during that sort of thing, and what happened to the one who was on their side saying to eat the royals essentially back then, and what happened to her. Anyway,
Well, something
They're
about
not.
cake.
They're so far up their own butts that they will not. They're just, well, we're on the right side of history, whatever that means, and they refuse to listen. But yeah, it's
anyway,
the thing is that it just winds up making for things that are like annoying. Whereas in like you don't have Rumble in a drop down. It's like I would happily pay for things that I like. If I don't like you though, I'm not going to give you money. You pissed me off. I'm not going to give you money now. So yeah, good
Pretty
job,
much.
OBS. Great.
yeah,
I'll use it for free.
Absolutely.
But
I'm perfectly fine with being mercenary. You put it out there, I will totally use it, but I'm not giving you a dime.
see,
Yep.
this one here is trying to make it sound like it's just a trivial thing, like it doesn't matter. What is it? The appeal to triviality kind of thing. Like honestly, what's the alleged benefit? What is going to change by adding Rumble? They get added to the Cool Kids Club. Listen, if you can use
Yes.
OBS StreamYards or whatever the hell it's called and stuff, and can drop down and multi-stream to Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, and all that at the same time, yes, it makes your life so much easier to set up things like alerts, to have your chat all in one spot.
Yep.
There are benefits actually associated with OBS.
Well, this is not
that only come from being able to use that drop down. But that's the thing. If they won't take the time to add Rumble to it when Rumble's already provided them all the information to make it happen, you have to run it through a separate thing and set it up like the essentially the old-fashioned way to get alerts.
Well, you know what's funny is, and here's the thing about the whole OBS thing. Us on Rumble do not need them because we we do not need the OBS to multi-stream, because what we can do is what I do is if I ever want to, I can run OBS, have it stream to Studio like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And then tell Studio to send that out to everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like, guess what, OBS? This was to your benefit.
Yeah, and OBS is missing out on its money they've left on the table, and it will go somewhere else now.
Yeah, this dude who's like, well, what's the big deal, is being obtuse on purpose. They're trying to minimize and gaslight you into thinking that you're overreacting. Oh, the gas lamps aren't going lower. It's the exact same thing. It's just really, really frustrating though. Because we're just like, look, we just want something. There is clearly a demand. There are users that want this. It would make our lives easier.
A lot of them.
Yeah, and so
here's the thing: not everybody's as tech savvy as me or me, and that can set all that up. Some people just want to hit the button and go, and I respect that, because you know what? Yeah, I get it.
He's all for the stupid people. Thank you, Chad. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, watch my shit.
All right, so let's move on because we got like 20 minutes.
I know.
Take two, because the ESG money is starting to dry up, has apparently decided to drop all DEI on all their reports.
Lol.
So in the past several years and stuff, they used to tout how many like LGBT trophies that they've won from all these different people, scholarships, and all this other stuff. They've apparently decided that they're no longer they're removing them from reports and stuff. So they're not
Yeah,
on that anymore.
removing from reports doesn't mean they're gone. No, that's
No, it doesn't mean that they're completely gone, but it does mean that they don't
It's a step.
value it as much. They
Yeah,
know
it's
toxic.
baby steps. They're edging.
So yeah.
They're edging to kind
EA
of
and
see what
Take-Two
the
is removing that kind of stuff, as well as other companies too. Apparently, like Microsoft is stepping it back, and
yeah.
various other companies as well now.
So I honestly think that they're doing this because they want to. They're doing this in small segments, and they're going to just see what the blowback is worth, and if it actually affects their bottom line. They know that the re's are going to re, but they've been taking it on the chin for a while now, and they're like, well,
The money's going dry.
yeah. So they're giving a little bit of a squeeze to see what the juice is like. And if they don't suffer any huge blowback, they're like, oh, okay, well, fine. We're just going to, I mean, it's less work for them. They don't have to celebrate every June and come up with these hideous new skins or whatever and all of these
Oh
extra
my
packages.
goodness. Yeah,
I saw one from
Destiny.
Destiny 2. Yes, freaking Destiny 2, which I was just sitting there. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Bungie.
The rainbow
Bungie-
thing?
Yeah,
Destiny, because it looked like No Man's Sky for a second.
No, it
I
was
like,
Destiny
what is
2.
that?
I thought the same thing. No, it was Destiny 2.
That's
and
what it is.
was
Literally.
It was like it's like a Skittles commercial vomited all over there.
Yeah, pretty much. Like Skittles vomited all over whatever Helldiver that was pretending to be.
The thing that actually, the thing
I
that
thought it was
gave me a
Helldivers
little
at
bit of hope-
first, but then I saw it was Destiny. I was like,
Oh no, the cape wasn't a Helldiver's cape, but
I mean, the thing that actually gave me a little bit of hope was just the fact that it was done so incompetently. So when someone does something that's woke, but it actually is art in a way as well, I'm just like, ugh, this is terrible because now it's going to push a message. But a lot of times it's done with such incompetence that it's perfectly fine. So I'm just like, oh, good. So but I mean, it's an interesting step for Bungie considering that their game is kind of falling off. Their big baby, which is Destiny 2, and then Marathon is coming out, and the alpha did not go well. They're in legal troubles now. I mean, honestly, I don't know why they don't just pay the guy whose art they stole and paste it all over their game because they're too super ethical. Just pay him. I mean, instead of paying artists now, people in your company, the whatever millions of dollars that they have to pay them to go through and redo all of these assets and then pushing this game back to do all of this.
they could just pay the man.
I find it funny that Bungie used the same excuse a fourth time.
Well, hey, man, if it worked the first time.
and there's no way anybody buys that. Like, I can't believe anybody who would buy it at this point. Oh, well, it was a guy back in 2021 we had, and it's like, dude, no. You and several others of your team followed this artist for years.
Yeah.
It was somebody honestly to remove the artist's name from their material and then to put it on the art stuff that you handed over to the rest of the team back whenever it is you handed it over to the rest of the team.
No, this was premeditated.
No, 100%. Somebody purposely did that, and I'm banking, like with 99.9% certainty, it was the guy in charge who was following the artist for years who liked the art.
Well, now you got to wonder, though, okay, we found this. Honestly, I would, if I was that artist,
the fourth or fifth time that this has happened.
They should audit them.
And the thing is, it's always small things, right? Like it's a gun for Destiny 2. It was a gun for this thing. It was a skin for that thing. And it's always like one or two items, no biggie. And it's always, a contractor or something that they had working for them at the time. And they just didn't do their due diligence to double and triple check it.
Yeah.
But this is the whole freaking game's art style this time.
Right.
Guys, that does not happen by accident. I'm sorry, you just didn't think you would get caught.
You can only surprise Pikachu face so many times before we go, okay, I don't believe you.
Yeah, I don't believe you for a heartbeat that it was some guy you guys had working for you back in 2021 or 2022, whenever it was that supposedly happened. No, it's somebody who's still working there who handed those assets over on purpose because they took the time to move the lady's name out, like her signature from the stuff, and smudge it out.
Yep.
You know,
Anyway.
if it was just some rando
sure
out
that's
there,
rude.
I could understand, because then the signatures and stuff would all be there together still, more than likely, trying to pass it off as theirs. But anyway, so the activists are very upset that indies are taking over, and they demand that you buy more of their AAA slop. The deprofessionalization of video games was on full display at PAX East.
You know what? I don't even disagree with this statement if they're talking about, well, the deprofessionalization of video games is actually on full display in AAA gamings, because what they're doing is not professional. What they're doing, inserting themselves into games, is the lack of professionalism, I think.
No. See, they're allowed to be unprofessional.
No, see, according to them, that is the corporate way.
Yeah.
So
I know. I
that
understand.
is professional to them.
When I read this, I was like,
"Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin."
Oh, absolutely. Nobody feels sorry for them. We glory in their downfalls.
and I even when I saw this, I put a GIF under it in the Discord of what's his name from Princess Bride saying "death first." And I'm like, dude, I go straight for indie games. Like, if there's an indie game, I'm looking at that before any AAA game, because I already know that there's going to be heart and soul in that game, even if the quality is not like super great. Knowing that dev is going to do his damnedest makes me go, you know what? I'll give this a chance. And nine times out of 10, I am very pleasantly surprised. Whereas with AAA games, I'm just fucking disappointed, and like my day has been ruined.
No, AAA games need to go back to what it was like before they were AAA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know how many games we can go through. We can just take Blizzard Entertainment, for example. When did Blizzard Entertainment start going to shit? Anybody? I'll tell you when. When Activision came in and partnered with them, and they became one unit, and they came in and said, "You're playing with the big boys now. You do it this way." That was at the height of Wrath of the Lich King, when World of Warcraft was at its highest peak. And then Activision came in and started changing things, because now they're a professional gaming company. They're not gamers making games for games or gamers anymore. They're professional now, and this is how we do it in the professional world, and this will bring in more players by doing this, that, and the other. And what did World of Warcraft do? It went from 18-20 million at its peak to barely bringing in about 1 million each month.
Squeenix.
And honestly, I'm thinking that these companies are actually cowards at heart. They are afraid constantly that they're going to upset the advertisers, who are also afraid at heart, and so they will not. If you have something that's edgy in there, oh no, you got to get that out. That's why they have these HR departments that they let run roughshod over everything.
That's why I say
they're also
all
the
HR
ship of Theseus at this point too. None of them are what they were before. The developers who used to be there, they're just not there. All of Blizzard's top execs, long gone by this point. They've been replaced with Mike Ybarra and
same with Bungie.
The other ones, Bungie, same way. 343, I don't know. I don't follow them, but I assume they're the same way.
Well, the funny thing is, a lot of the old
companies that made these things also don't exist, like Maxis, which was The Sims and SimCity. It got gobbled up by EA, completely scuttled. Their devs long gone somewhere else. And what are those games now? Shells of themselves.
But I got a positive spin to put on this too.
Mm-hmm.
So the devs that are long gone, have been. I've noticed that a lot of these dev teams will create their own studios
Yeah,
and they go independent and they make stuff like
Expedition 33.
I was about to say, like Expedition 33. That is a group of people that used to all work for Ubisoft, long gone, and then made their own studio and went, "Hey, here's something amazing. Go
Maybe
fuck
you like
yourself,
it.
AAA."
Yeah.
And
But
the thing is, that they didn't put it out to with these big messages or anything. They just put it out, going, "This is a game. We liked it. Hope you like it." That's it. That's all I
Yeah.
want to know.
they
You liked
had a
it, you put out
vision,
a
they
trailer.
had a
That's it.
story, they had a game. They didn't have to put in anything extra. They didn't have to load it down with this message that they're bonking you on the head with the entire time. And it was a fun,
Hell,
exciting experience.
so I've been playing this game called Tainted Grail, and it plays like a very story rich Elder Scrolls game, like even more story rich than Elder Scrolls. I'm talking like this is on par with like I haven't gotten too far in it, so I don't want to talk it up too much. But so far, I have so many questions, and I love where it went so far. And I'm just playing it. I'm having fun fighting enemies.
It's like Elder Scrolls meets Dark Souls.
Yeah,
In
actually,
a way,
yeah.
like it's got
All
that
of the
Dark
Souls.
Souls gritty art
Yep.
and storytelling,
Yep.
but it's an Elder Scrolls game of thing.
Yeah.
And it's apparently really good, and a lot of people are loving it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play it after this, most likely, for a stream. So,
but yeah, the AAA industry cannot collapse any faster. I wish
Yeah.
they would collapse faster.
Yeah, and the thing that they're doing to try to appeal to relevance and stay in business is not to put out better products, but it's to try to shame us and use their positions of authority that we have given them by saying, "Yes, I trust you, CD Projekt Red. Yes, I trust you, Bethesda." Well, whoever trusted Bethesda. "Yes, I trust you,
trust them
Ubisoft."
to be making a buggy mess.
Yeah.
I mean, I
that's-
trust you because you made games that were good in the past. And they say, well, from our position of authority, then we're going to say that you're less than if you go for these other games because they're not professional. They don't know. They don't have 27 HR ladies standing over their
their corpses
over
Who
their
was
shoulders
dragging
telling them,
corpses?
"Can't say that."
Was that on Animaniacs? They had the censor.
This-
like the old lady censor, like kept apologizing for the scene, and then like they dropped an anvil on her at the end. It was great.
But yeah, I
those
mean,
were the days. And then, of course, they rebooted that too because they're
yeah.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, I started watching that,
Nope.
and after the first 3 episodes and each one having a Trump joke in it, I was just like, okay, now this is stale. I'm sorry, like I don't mind a Trump joke once in a while.
Yeah, no, Trump jokes can be
But
hilarious.
the first 3 episodes and each one has its own different Trump joke. I'm just like, guys, now this is overkill. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You can't do the joke 3 separate times because as far as I'm sure the 4th one and the 5th one, the 6th one probably also all had Trump's jokes in it for no reason whatsoever. And I was just like, after the 1, I was good, guys.
Yeah, the thing is that people are so bored with what they actually do that they feel that they have to do more with it. We have to go further than the people who went before. I'm like, you know what? First, you need to do what you did before or what was done in the past and do that well. Then you can add on to it. But what they're trying to do is just add stuff.
I mean,
we're still QQing over Dragon's Age right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot what it was I was reading, but I did like a 60-second bite-sized news thing about it where they were talking about they were complaining about something about the gamers. Oh yeah, gamers wanting AAA to fail, right? Like taking glee in the fact that these games are failing. They were upset about that, right? Because they're anti-fans apparently now.
Yeah,
and
again,
it's like. Yeah, because they're shaming and stuff, but in the article it was like, and you got failures like Dragon Age. Meanwhile, then they try to pretend like successes like Assassin's Creed Shadows didn't happen, and it's like, bitch, where the fuck are you? Like, Assassin's Creed was not a success. We saw the earnings call. it was a failure of categorical. Like it was a nightmare
Category
scenario for them.
5 failure.
Like, I mean, just looking at the Steam charts alone, it barely did even better than Dragon Age did
Yeah.
on PC, and they were boasting about 3 million players because they were all on Ubisoft Plus or whatever the subscription service was. And we just saw what that correlates with Doom, right? Like
Yeah.
2 point something million of the 3 million players they had that they were boasting about having was all from PlayStation or from Game Pass.
Yeah.
2 point something mil of that. Like that's more than a 50%
Yeah.
of their players were all from Game Pass. They didn't even crack 1 million sales apparently.
And dude, when I saw like them boasting these millions of players, I was just like,
It's where.
But anyway, yeah, it's like they say things like that, and it's like, yeah, in a way there are anti fans out there, right? And there are, because we talked about whatever his name was, who was essentially a tourist from Monster Hunter, trying to make that into a big deal, but it didn't go
Yeah.
anywhere
yeah,
outside of his little echo chamber. Um, because that there is somebody who does, I feel like they are latching on to just about any straw that they can to try and turn it into a thing that they can get behind when it comes to something like that. But there are antis, but they're talking about how these antis are causing the failure of everything. And I got to thinking about it recently and was like, there were anti fans for Hogwarts Legacy too, right?
yeah.
And that game was a success. It's almost like when you guys anti-fan for something, it's a success. But then when the actual gamers TM are being the anti-fans, it fails. It's almost like you don't know where your audience really is.
No.
But anyway.
Or even worse, despise where your audience is.
Yeah. So speaking of EA and their horrible timing or whatever it is. Anyway, EA shut down the studio. The end.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Chad, play the thing. But EA closed down the studio.
Yeah, it's too quickly. There's too many.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Wait,
so EA has just shut down another
timing.
studio and canceled a game.
There it is.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful. How terrible! Oh
no! So ex-Sweet Baby Inc. employee and current who was apparently working on EA's Marvel's Black Panther has been, I guess, let go.
Oh no!
Yeah, the whole studio has been shut down. They got rid of the whole thing, and yeah, EA needs to shut down more.
Everybody's going to drop here in a second, too.
Oh yeah, I know, and it's at the end of the night, so we got more thing to go through.
Right.
I think we lost Meg for a second.
I was going to say, if you want, I can play this when it hits 10 o'clock.
It's time to stop.
Yeah, the 10 o'clock alarm.
Yeah,
I turned into a pumpkin. But yeah, so the Black Panther game that was in the works has been canceled. EA shut down the entire studio and got rid of everybody. Also, EA apparently laid off 300 other people somewhere along the way too recently. So EA is going through some structural changes. I wonder why. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that, their developers are being blatant racists or anything. And,
right.
If you're going to trim some fat, probably it would be the ones who have no talent and who are out there antagonizing customers.
And the thing is that even if you do have talent, there comes a time where your talent does not offset the amount of headache and trouble that you cause. Your juice is not worth your squeeze. Like someone like this who's like, well, I just didn't feel safe. You could be the best artist in the world, but there are other artists in the world, and you are so troublesome to work with because you're afraid of all of the white people and you're so racist and so toxic that you would actually poison this game with your nonsense. So it doesn't matter. You could be talented, but it doesn't matter if you were too much of a pain to deal with.
Good night.
Yeah, and I think she actually said something about how she didn't feel safe around white
Oh,
people.
absolutely. I am
And
quoting
then
her.
was like, well, it's not that we don't feel safe around you or some bullshit like that. And it's like, lady, you're a racist. Just tell us you're racist already.
Yeah, she was. What?
Oh,
What
yeah, no,
I
she
don't remember the
was.
exact quote, but it was something like she basically had a team of no white people on it because of the fact that there come times where where white people are just exhausting and they feel like they're always right. And I'm like, why are
Oh, and
you?
microaggressions.
Yeah,
Because
and I'm
that's a
like, why are
thing.
you lumping all people together? And especially when you're black, I don't think that's a thread you want to pull on, okay? It's just not, you know? Like you can notice patterns, but my dude, if you're going to go pattern noticing and you're black, I'm just saying tread carefully. It's just a thing, you know? I grew up in the hood too. I know what's up. I've seen it. I've lived it. It's not cool. They're not wrong. Please stop making racist correct, okay?
Yeah,
It's
that's
very
just usually
frustrating. I'm
something you
like,
don't want to do is confirm or affirm the racist.
exactly.
Right?
I'm just like, please stop proving the
Words, they're
KKK
hard.
is right. Like, stop it. It's so frustrating to me. It makes my job harder. Okay, I have to be like, okay, well,
Yeah,
I'm
and
going to
we've
agree
done
here.
a lot to have the KKK only have like 1,000 people now. So
I know, right?
they
But they
somewhere, I
they
think they
they
live
keep it
somewhere
alive
in
because
West
of the fact that they
Virginia.
really, really like being victims.
Like, I think the KKK lives somewhere near West Virginia or North Carolina, somewhere in there, just
I
hidden.
was I
Like,
think
they've got their own little
Carolina.
town somewhere because I've heard about it. And
Yeah,
I'm
I think
just
it's the
like, how you guys
Carolinas.
are still alive over there? Like, I don't get it.
But the thing that's frustrating is just when people are so dumb and not aware of the fact that they are proving racists correct. You know, it's
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, on another note, when I was younger,
mhm,
back when it was in high school when I had my license,
mhm.
I distinctly remember the KKK having a rally here in town
Whoa.
over where we have a thing called the splash pad now.
Mhm,
And apparently they had bought like all these permits or something so they could have this rally over here.
mhm.
And I distinctly remember being told, "Hey, look, if you do not go down X Street today, it's going to be bad." So what did my dumbass do? We went down there, right? We parked very far away and we walked into the downtown area. And apparently a good chunk of town showed up and then chased them out of town.
Nice.
So
Sounds about right.
they showed up with horses and everything else and chased the KKK guy. Like the second he got onto his little thingy to start speaking, things started being chucked, and then eventually they were like all being what is it? Freedom of speech, blah blah blah. We get to we get to stand here. We paid for this, and people just weren't having it in town. I was just like,
They're like, yeah, we
I've
don't
never
care.
seen anything like this in my life. But then again, I had never actually seen a real KKK member either in my life before. It was
Right?
my first time seeing a Klans member. But yeah, they sent them packing, and I've never seen them since. So never heard of them ever coming back to town. I just know that they live in like this little town that's like on the other side of the mountain somewhere, and
Mhm.
that's where they sort of, I guess they got like a compound or something. I don't know.
Commune. Commies.
Ah,
The thing is that generally speaking, the person or the people who are going to be the greatest advocate against them is the people themselves, you know? Like you
Yeah.
could say whatever you want, but if you show someone a picture of whatever group that you don't like, just let them speak. And if they're awful enough, they will do it. Now, sometimes people will use like doctored images or something like that, but if they don't even need to do that, you've got yourself a problem in your community. So,
I took over Zio's spot.
yeah. Like,
yeah. Can y'all
yeah, I
still
know.
hear me?
I'm
Because
trying
my
to talk
voice is
here. I mean, I
stop.
can do it. If you've ever watched my stream, you know I can do it. But since Zio's like off in the hinterlands, and it's just the two of us for the moment, we're in charge. Zio, tell everybody where they can find you this week. Not Zio, D-pad. You can do it.
They
Chad.
can find me here on Rumble because I'm sick and tired of YouTube and Twitch's bullshit.
Hey, question. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
We can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay, so
But you're
my
like
camera's just not
you're like a
working.
disembodied voice. You're like a
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be a disembodied voice. But one last thing before we go,
Yeah.
Mhm.
because of EA, EA, of course, The Sims. A mod has shown up called DEI Remover, and essentially it makes anything black into white, and it makes anything gay into straight.
I'm
It
sorry, it's
makes
so
gay
funny.
couples into like siblings, and
So
anyway, so The
wait.
Sims, which is a single-player dollhouse simulation-style game where you
Yeah.
can brutally murder your Sims by setting them on fire, starving them to death, or drowning them in a pool. EA is very upset that this thing exists, and they have been running around trying to pull it down from anywhere that it happens to have been hosted at, and people keep re-uploading it
I read
every
it.
time. It is a war of attrition now.
Oh,
I love
I got
this so
something for
much.
us. I got something for this. Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why are you gay?
It's so
No,
funny. And I
this
mean,
one takes the full one.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
that whole quote though, like even with because you cut out the part where the guy where I think it's a woman actually who's just like, who says I'm gay? And he just looks at him for a second and goes, you are gay. And I'm like, that's
Yeah,
just
no. The one I got is the shorter version because the longer version is just too long.
yeah, it's too long for like a clip, but yeah, no, it's great because of the fact that this person tried to pull the same thing that a lot of wokies or leftists try to do, where they try to kind of obfuscate and try to say, who says that actually happened? What's the big deal? I don't really know. Did you really see what you thought you saw? And dude just looks and goes, no, you're gay. Like, okay. So you don't do this in Africa. Okay.
Yeah, no.
They don't have time for this. They've got lions. So
Yeah. But no, like, yeah, this is hilarious because like the modding community is over this shit. And it's not by the way, it's not even like the LGBT aspect. It's they're over their shit getting removed.
But also think about this. This is The Sims 4. This is like the female sphere of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one of them has done, of course, granted, they're also complaining, like the white chick who's complaining over here, because she's very upset that this thing has occurred.
Is she literally shaking?
Do what?
I said, is she literally shaking? That's usually the thing,
I think she's literally shaking. Because that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah,
but,
of course.
It doesn't come up big enough to actually read her thing down here, but I believe she's the one really complaining about it. Like, really
hold
upset,
control and
really
use your
shaking.
scroll wheel.
So, what?
Hold control and use your scroll wheel.
Yeah, but it's
no. On the article, don't click on it.
It's not an article. This is Twitter. Yeah. It's a picture.
Okay, well, click off the picture now. Now use your scroll wheel. There you go.
Yeah, but now it's okay. Fine, whatever.
I gotta teach you how to computer.
Listen, I thought it was gonna pixelate. Okay,
we're long past that age, old man.
Old man Ziho.
Yeah. Listen, I'm from the 1900s. Bear with me.
Yeah, me too, motherfucker.
I just came across the Sims.
That meme was me.
By forcing all pre-made Sims to be white, straight, thin. Oh yeah, it makes the fat ones thin. By the way,
that's so funny.
I'm a little offended.
You feel attacked?
Yes. And this isn't just a mod; it intentionally erases your representation and pushing a harmful and disgusting agenda.
No, it's just a mod,
and then it's cut off.
Yeah, it's just a mod. Get over it.
Well, yeah, see, the thing is that this doesn't affect anybody's game but the person playing, though, right? Like, nobody else can see what you have on your...
It's a single-player game.
Yeah, it's a single-player game. If
it affects you, it's because you chose to download it, and then the people who are upset about it are, quite frankly, mentally retarded.
Well, this is, again, people wanting you to play things the way that they want you to play things. They want to get in your head. They want to tell you how to think. They want to tell you how to be. They want to tell you how to play your games. And it's like, it's not enough for you to just do whatever you want within the confines of your own house. And these are the same people who are like, stay out of my bedroom and it doesn't matter what bathroom I use. These are the same people, but you can't play your own video game on your own console.
Good reply, Zach. Zach was
He's gotten based.
Zach
think-
predicted the future
I'm
here.
pretty sure I was saying that they could stand for another round of layoffs a second ago, so this works great.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. It's like
asking you
300
shall
just not
receive,
enough.
right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, nothing turns people off the left more than just letting people on the left talk. I'm like, yeah, no, keep saying things.
That's why like there was a meme about AOC there that said they were the post was like, do not ever shut her up. And it was it was a quote from her saying that men are under capitalism, men subjugate other men, and under communism it's the opposite.
What?
And it's like, so yeah, dead serious. I can see if I can find it because I did like it. And I was like,
anyway,
that's not what you think.
So yeah, so this is a thing that's happening. EA needs to get rid of some of the Karens they still have in the office. A lot of them, especially the ones over here dealing with EA, because they're running around trying to get these things removed, and people just keep re-uploading them, which is fantastic. I love it.
This is the Streisand effect all over again, though. It's just going to cause people to be... I mean, I wouldn't have known about this if they hadn't made such a stink about it. It would have been a little known, or maybe even moderately known. But now this is widely known, and we're laughing at it. They have turned themselves into lol cows. And we're all anxious and itching to be in on a good joke.
Yeah, and The Sims 4 is a shell of what it could be. So compared to earlier Sims games. Again, one of those things where EA cannibalized Maxis. Maxis no longer exists. Those developers are long gone and into the wind somewhere. Maybe they're with one of these indie studios for all we know. And EA has essentially just bastardized the IP. So anyway, it is that time.
Zio has become a pumpkin, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
have turned into a pumpkin so much that my camera stopped working.
It's like, we don't need to see him anymore. No, he's a pumpkin. That's why we'd be looking at a pumpkin.
Those motherfuckers so hideous his camera took himself out.
Yeah, my camera went out back.
So, Chad, what are you doing this week?
Well, I'm going to be doing Tainted Grail after this. On Saturday, I'm doing Fae Farm with Joe and possibly Zio, and you're always welcome to, Meg. But I'm not sure if you're like the cozy fun, but
cozy bun.
I know.
I played Sunhaven for you people. Okay.
I know. I'm tempting you is all.
Are you? Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't given up on Sunhaven. Like, I'm definitely going to be going back to that. But
no, I don't want to hear about it. I started playing it, and then you guys abandoned me within like a week. I'm like, okay, screw this nonsense.
I still
have to finish the game, so I have gotten the favor of all the dragons.
I finished the game, or I'm at the last boss of the game.
Yeah,
I kept playing.
You know what I realized about Sunhaven, and the thing that kind of makes me feel overwhelmed about it is I'm not a huge fan of having multiple farms like that massive. And I'm just like...
It did get a little confusing. It felt like a job.
I just didn't use the other farms.
That's the only way that you get to grow the other stuff.
Well, yeah, but you can also build scarecrows, right? And then you can use those scarecrows to grow the stuff from that place at the other farms. But not the
quantity that I needed. I was like, look, I need more of this stuff. And
I didn't know that, actually.
But then there are seasonal... what are those things called? Like greenhouse type things. Like they're greenhouse crystals.
Those are kind of fun.
So you transport to a greenhouse like thing, and then what you can do is you can essentially like go over there, plant the scarecrows, and then grow all of whatever we call it.
Yeah.
Area in that greenhouse. And
but like I said,
because they're usually not seasonal like the other stuff is.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, like Fae Farming.
That's what I was doing. But to be totally honest, once you have enough to get whatever thing that area has that you may want, it's not even worth planting crops.
Yeah.
So
no, that's the thing. Like Fae Farm, I like it because it's more simplistic, more streamlined, and I love the controls. The controls, like when you go to attack, it feels good. When you're mining,
I'm not crazy of the multiplayer at all.
I know. It's confusing for you, old man.
It's not confusing. It sucks. Because the multiplayer, because with Sunhaven, I can sit here and I can go fishing and stuff on my character.
He loves the
Then I
fishing.
can pop in when you're gaming on yours and not feel left behind because I'm on par with you. But in Fae Farm, if I'm not playing with you 24/7 the whole time,
It
I
progresses.
am 100% behind continuously because it ties you a character to that save
Yeah.
only when you're there. So,
I agree with you on that. Like,
and that's a thing that has turned me off from Fae Farm. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love the concept of how they've set it up with the
it
tools
is.
and things.
I think it is brand
Absolutely
new too.
love it. But that multiplayer function makes me not want to play multiplayer at all. I feel like
I
it's
get
not
you.
even worth doing.
Like I feel like I can get through Fae Farm pretty quickly at this point. Like I'm on the second of 4 MacGuffins, and I think it'll be quick and done. None of the romanceable characters are interesting at all.
No, they're not.
So, like, honestly, I think
listen. The Carpenter is a wheelchair guy. I do not expect any of the romanceable characters to be interesting.
no. Are you kidding?
This game
I
is like the epitome of DEI incarnate.
It is
from their
It is.
developers, which
What?
means absolutely everybody is bland. Nobody is worth pursuing. But the
No,
gameplay is nice.
the
I
gameplay
really
is nice.
love the way they did the tools. Like
The
that
fun-
is
You
my
know what, guys?
favorite
You almost
thing.
got me, and then you said that.
Yeah,
no.
well.
See, Zio doesn't see the potential because I spent 20 minutes just roasting the fuck out of this paraplegic carpenter. I was
Listen,
like, "What are you going to do?
I
What are
don't
you
know.
going to do? Roll
Unless
the
he
ladder,
has
my dude?"
levitation magic, he's not doing jack shit. Like I can
Well, no.
understand him behind the desk,
Me and Joe
hiring
were
somebody else
talking.
to do the work.
Me and Joe were talking about that. Like, how's this motherfucker? We got magic in this world, and this dude's sitting there. We got potions and all this stuff. This dude's
and
sitting
he's
there in a
in a
wheelchair.
wooden wheelchair. No, like we have access to iron
And
copper
metals.
and metals, and he's in a fucking wooden wheelchair of all things. And I'm like, this is like, this is the person
See, the thing is
who
that
is
this is-
playing D&D 5.5.
Yes, that's exactly
and
what I was
wanting
gonna say.
their magic wheelchair to go into a dungeon they have no business in.
That's
in a
why I'm
game where
saying
they
it's
can cast
great because
mending
I'm
and walk
making fun
again.
of these characters. I'm mocking these characters.
But yeah, everybody's bland. But the systems are top notch. I would love it if other Cozy Farm games had a lot of the systems that this game does have. I'll give it that. But the characters are boring. The love interests, the romance characters are all
Non-existent.
boring. They're bland. They're non-existent. They have a paraplegic as a carpenter who's apparently going to upgrade your shit because he can do that with his non-working legs.
No. My father-in-law is a carpenter. No, I'm telling you, absolutely not. Just
listen. He can build a half fence. That's what. Half fence.
Oh shit!
That's about as high as he gets.
I mean, if he's doing like small like molding on things, but I mean for the most part, absolutely not. The way the man has to stand and hold things and everything.
Well, no, he crawls around and uses his sheer upper body strength to hold
No, they can't even be that because this dude isn't Joe Swanson. He looks lanky as hell, so he's not doing that either.
He's like super thin, and I'm just like, how is this
gaunt and
like of all the people in town, you gave the paraplegic a carpenter job.
That's
he could
cruel
be
as
doing
shit.
the magic shop. He could be doing the whatever it is, the clothing store. He could be selling me fucking seeds for all I care. But no, you gave him the carpenter job. Are you daft?
Yeah, and again, this is why I was like, you know what? This isn't too bad because I've been making fun. The wizard dude that kind of helps you with magic.
Wizard guy is
he's a nerd. Like he's like got these big Coke bottle glasses. So I was like,
he's a wimp.
Huh?
He's a wimp.
Yeah, and that's what I portrayed. So I gave him a voice like, yes, thanks for helping me. I hope this magic helps me women. Like,
oh, Chad, help
like,
you need this magic.
Yeah, I just make fun of the
You
characters.
made short work of those vines. I couldn't touch.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Great. I can't go.
You
go
guys
try
aren't
some
making me
more
want to play this
vines.
game. I'm just saying.
Well, no. The thing is, the whole reason I picked it up is because the mechanics look solid, and they are.
No,
and,
they are.
And I saw a great opportunity to just make a lot of jokes.
You know how we have to usually carry like 15 tools with us at any given time in these farming sims for the most part? And different sims, there are different ones have come up with different ways by like giving you a tool bag so it's not in your inventory and stuff and things like that.
Let me just put forth, this is Sunhaven was the first farming sim I have ever played in my life.
Well, that's how they normally work, right?
Yeah, they normally work how Sunhaven does.
They don't go into your inventory, right? And instead, if you go to an object that you can shop or you can pickaxe, you just have the tools option. You click the button and it automatically uses whatever tools necessary for it.
Yeah. So if I go
I
to
love
a tree,
it is very nice. So essentially, you're swapping between like fishing pole, a bug catcher's net, tools, and your staff for magic, which essentially is just regular combat for the most part.
Yeah.
Until you gain some spells here and there.
But yeah, it's basically
whatever.
combat.
But so you've got these 3 things that or 4 things you're swapping from, so you don't have to actually manually swap to your pickaxe, swap to your axe all the time, swap to your water pail and stuff like that, which is nice. But the selling tables also need some work because you can only sell 1 item per spot on the table. So if you've got 22 of an item, it's taking up 22 spots of the 30 spots that are there.
Zio, that is not a problem.
Yeah, it is a problem.
No, it is not, because you can buy more.
I don't care. It's a problem. I want to click on the 22 items and it just automatically goes into the thing. I know they were trying to make it all fancy and everything and look nice,
but
dramatic.
Also, I have more money than I know what to do with right now. I'm literally pissing money because of the mine. Just literally every day I'm getting like $2,000 plus because of the mines. So I don't care about selling.
I want to actually stick my 22 items in the basket and it goes away at night. You know, when the new day comes over.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how many times I would go and collect a bunch of shit. And I'm like, well, okay, let me go. I put the stuff up I want to go. I go to sell. And then half my inventory is on the tables.
Hey,
and the
Zio?
other half is still in my bag because there's not enough space.
Hey, Zio.
Yeah.
Did you ever catch that fish?
Yes, I did, by the way. I did catch that fish.
Zio was mid-fishing and the day flipped over. It hit midnight and he just got warped back out.
No, it didn't hit midnight. That's the thing.
Oh no,
it was not midnight. It was like 10 something.
Oh,
and you said something about don't come back, and I was like, okay, I'm fishing.
No, I said come
and
back.
And then you yelled at me for coming back, and it was like, I never came back. I'm fishing. I almost had this fish that was glowy and shiny and everything. And you're like, well, I got in the bed, and it was like, oh, so one person has to jump in the bed, and then it automatically cycles the next day.
No, that's the thing is, I thought it was both people had to be there. That's why I said don't come back. I remember now. I said don't come back because I didn't want it to kick to the next day.
And I didn't. But then he messed me. I lost my fish because of it.
Oh no!
But I caught another one.
How he almost got the white.
I caught a lot of them.
Yeah, but no. The game is it's adorable and. Honestly, I was looking at 2 games, Fae Farm and this other game. The other game does not look like it's worth the $60 price tag.
Oof.
And Fae Farm was like $15. And for $15, I'm pretty happy with what I got. That's really where it came down. Like I was like, I'm okay with this. It's not Sunhaven. I'll say Sunhaven is infinitely better, but for the cheap buy-in price, it wasn't bad.
What's the
Now,
carpenter's name again?
I don't remember. I don't. You think do you think any of those characters are memorable?
No, they're not. They're bland as all get. Never mind. I found what I'm looking for. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
Give me a second. I got to bring it over here. There we go.
Oh, there he is. And I'm impressed. You know what? I gotta say though, I'm impressed. He upgraded your house in one day.
How?
This is your master carpenter.
How? Like, maybe he could be like the architect, but not the carpenter. Like,
yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah, like,
carpentry is very
listen,
demanding.
I said there's like 5,000 other jobs he could do in town that isn't one that requires him to stand, and they give him the one job that requires you to be completely able-bodied.
I feel like he came to town and they were like, guys, watch this. We need a carpenter. That are like,
It's just an inside joke with the rest of the town.
Yeah.
So silly.
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
No, but the second I realized that's what his job was, I'm just like,
yeah, because see, I bought this not seeing this character, and this was just amazing to me because I made so many jokes.
No, but I do like a lot of the mechanics of the game, and it is a nice, chill, very, very easy, cozy game.
Yeah,
like it's so easy. But I honestly I prefer Sunhaven.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Talking about it, I kind of feel like going back to Sunhaven on Saturday instead of the Fae Farm. But I don't know. I'm also kind of looking at Tainted Grove, Expedition 33. My backlog is real.
There's apparently more farms too, like the Frozen Farm and Fae Acres.
They're all okay. So Hazy Haven and the original are right next to each other, so that it's really just one farm at that point.
Well, there's also teleporters, so I'm not like
you can.
I mean, that's the same way with Sunhaven. You have a way to get there. It's not like it's super far away.
Yeah, it's just like the whole like. Honestly, I think if I went back to Sunhaven, I would be just fine continuing it.
But anyway, it's past my bedtime. I gotta go, people.
Yeah.
Where can we find everybody now that we've been talking about Fae Farm?
Well, that's how we got into talking about Fae Farm. Chad's
playing
be playing Fae Farm.
Yeah, I'll be doing Fae Farm, maybe Sunhaven on Saturday. I don't know yet. Kind of feeling Sunhaven now. And also got a huge announcement. You guys remember what I did for the 500 follower thing, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not confident.
Isn't that when you gave away all the gift cards?
Yeah, all the gift cards.
There's more. What's going on? What is this to celebrate?
This is just going to be a monthly thing now.
Oh wow.
Me and Joe got talking about it, and we're going to be doing giving away $20 gift cards every month. But we talked about it in detail, and we decided, you know what? Let's add some more value to those Rumble Premium subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be giving these away, but you have to have Rumble Premium because it's going to be a premium live stream.
All right, got to spend money to make money. That seems to be the way it goes.
It's going to be a couple bucks. And hey, if you're the only one there, that's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
All right. So guys, get in there, man.
There
what
you
do
go.
they have to do to win? They have to have a Rumble Premium. And they have to comment, I assume?
Yeah.
He's going to say giveaway, and if you don't write giveaway, you won't be added to the wheel. So.
Yeah, because I'm not going to know you're even there. So
yeah, because he doesn't know who's actually there if you don't type giveaway at the time
or something along those lines. So, but yeah.
All right. Well, kids, that's what day is that?
I don't know yet. Probably it's going to be around the 15th. It's going to be midway through the month. So let me see here.
Be determined.
Yeah, June. Let's see. It'll probably be the 21st or 14th, somewhere around there. It's gonna be one of those 2 weeks.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
yeah.
Well, stay tuned, guys. That's look for that. For me, I am still playing Kina. We're getting to an area that has a lot more puzzles, so I'm kind of interested in that. Let's see, I think I fought like 3 or 4 bosses. One I beat in one turn, and one just drove me crazy, and that one was supposed to be easier because, of course, I have to do it backwards. So it's so stupid. Anyway, so yeah, if you are so inclined, come join me on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. If you're Mountain or Central, I believe in you and your math skills. Yeah, so just come yell at me in the comments, and we'll have a good time. Zio, what you got?
Absolutely nothing but this next week on at the same time, same bat channel, all that good stuff. 8 p.m. Eastern time here. So on Friday.
I'll harass Zio to join me sometime during the week.
But yeah, I'm pretty much playing GTA 5 at the moment, so that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
So,
everybody.
links for everybody, of course, are in the description down below. Nobody can see me pointing there, so I don't know why I'm trying. Yeah, so what Chad did. So, yeah, if you want to go follow any of these nerds, you can go ahead and do that because their links are down there. If you want to follow my shenanigans on Twitter, that, of course, is also down there on the Twix. Yeah, and I think that's it. So, with all of that, we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
All right.